game. Brett, let's kind of go through the starters quick here. Who you got for the Red Oak starters tonight?
Okay, starting for offense for the Tigers, you got number 2 Mason Fisher, quarterback, running back Ethan Fouts, Jackson Purdue, and Caleb Branson will be your running backs tonight. At wide receiver will be Cale Hall and number 3 Marcus Torres. Starting on the line, starting at tackle, Hayden Jones. Guard next to him, I believe, will be Sergio Villanueva, center Brody Hughes, Jacob Patterson will be at the other guard, and tackle will be Sawyer Purdue. Looking at the defensive starters also for the Tigers, at defensive end we'll have Sawyer Purdue. Defensive tackle, both defensive tackles will be Hayden Jones, Jacob Patterson. The other defensive end will be Ethan Fouts. Kind of the rover position, Jackson Purdue. At the linebackers tonight, Dalton Faree, Caleb Ransom, and Sergio Villanueva. Corners will be Noah Smirniotis and Marcus Torres. And playing safety tonight will be Pace Shelley.
And with that, we'll take a break. We'll be right back with the starters of the Vikings, and we'll also have the pregame coin toss for you. We'll be right back after these messages.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Red Oak High School.
Red Oak pregame prior to AHSTW and the Red Oak Tiger football game. We've gone through the lineups, starting lineups for Red Oak Tigers. Brett, let's get the starting lineups in for the Vikings tonight.
Okay, for the Viking offensive starters, we have number 2 Gatlin Getler, number 5 Drew Lee, number 10 Colin Harder, number 13 be Chase Wheatley, number 32 Cash Freeman, number 50 Jackson Shutters, number 59 Jackson Jensen, number 70 Caden Jorgensen, and number 75 Roman Scheffler, and number 12 Dayton Oshbar, along with number 23 Caden Sandbothy. On defense, got a lot of the same names here. Number 2 also Gatlin Getler, Drew Lee will be also starting. Number 10, Colin Harder. 13, Chase Wheatley. Number 22, Sam Strum. Number 32, Cash Freeman. Number 50, Jackson Shutters. Number 59, Jackson Jensen. Number 70, Caden Jorgensen. And number 75, Roman Scheffler.
So, Brett, we've talked about both teams. What are some of the keys tonight for the Tigers? to get a W on the night.
Well, I think looking for some of the stats from last week, Red Oak needs to be able to run the ball a little bit better. I know that was kind of their focus, but the Tigers really only had about 100 yards worth of rushing last week as opposed to almost 200 yards of passing. So the passing number is kind of a surprise, but the Tigers really want to set up that run first, and they definitely going to need to stop the run. With the Vikings running a very multiple offense, doing a lot of zone read, a lot of those new defenders on the Tiger defense are really going to have to read their keys well.
The officials tonight, those guys in the stripes are important. You got to have them, guys. You got to have them. The referee tonight will be Robert Johnson. The umpire is Jay Goebbels. Head linesman John Kindy. Your line judge will be Randy Baxter. And your back judge will be Charles Wright. We're going to have the pregame meeting in the field here at half and get the coin toss in. Your captains tonight. Brett, here's your list of captains for the Tigers and the Vikings tonight.
Okay, for the Vikings, we got Gatlin Getler, number 5, Drew Lee, Colin Harder, and Caden Jorgensen. For the Tigers, same as last week, you have Mason Fisher, Jacob Patterson, Jackson Purdue, and Sergio Villanueva.
Good crowd filling in here tonight. A lot of orange and black. Looks like the student body, I don't know what the theme is tonight. Looks like it's construction worker night. They all have on their traffic warning vests on. They seem to be engaged in the game. But we got a big crowd tonight. It's youth recognition night, so the JVA football program kids are here at the game tonight, as are the YMCA flag football kids. And, Brett, we were talking pregame that we've got almost close to 90 kids out between those two programs, between first and sixth grade, and that is a really good number.
No, those are some of the better numbers than we've had for a long time, and it's one of those things we just got to make sure we're able to keep those kids, feeding up into these high school programs. But definitely football, more than any other sport, is such a numbers sport, so it'd be really good to keep those kids out for football.
You bet. They're here excited, and they are going to be cheering loudly tonight. They'll be recognized at halftime. So here we go. Looks like Red Oak won the toss. They're going to defer. So that means the Vikings will receive and take the ball to start the game here. So we'll be underway shortly here. The Vikings will be in white uniforms, blue pants. Tigers going all black tonight. Got the black top, black pants, black helmet. And we'll be ready to go here. Coach Alan Gray's got his Tigers ready to go tonight. I know he was happy, Brett, to have a full allotment, almost a full allotment of a roster. Not only do you just the kids back, but kids can shift back into their natural positions. And rather, last week they were kind of moving around in different positions.
Oh, yeah. When you're practicing all, preseason, all those practices at one position, then suddenly you're switched over to another one. It really messes up the timing of the offense and the defense and, as far as responsibilities go. So putting those kids back in their natural position should be a big help for the defense and allows them to play a lot faster.
And we're not the only game in town. A lot of big games around Southwest Iowa tonight. We'll have those scores on the KCSI scoreboard, and our, what do we call him, executive field producer, Aaron West will come in with scores. But give us some of the highlights of the games quickly before we get to kickoff here, Brad.
Okay, so it looks like some of the 8-man teams going on. Cam will be at Coon Rapids, East Mills at Stanton and Essex, Boyer Valley at Fremont Mill at number 5 Fremont Mills, number 7 Audubon will be at Griswold, Bedford at Lennox, and Sydney at number 6 Woodbine. Go ahead. Do you want to do some of the
work those in here. Pace Shelley's going to be kicking the ball off for the Tigers. Vikings will be receiving from their south and heading towards the north. Bright sunshine out on the field. We're about ready to go here and get things kicked off. And, of course, we saw Pace knock through a 30-yard field goal last week for the Tigers. He's got a strong leg, and we're about ready to get this thing going, guys. Ball placed on the 40.
And it looks like number 5, Drew Lee, will be the back guy there for the Vikings.
And we will be underway here momentarily. Week 2, high school football from Bend to Field, and the kick is away. The squibber down the middle going to be picked up there by number 10, Colin Harder. He's going to take it to the wide side, cut back inside, got a little room there. Going to be brought down about the 40-yard line. That's where the Vikings will start their first possession of the game, 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
No, it looks like number 17, Hudson Fisher, was there kind of on the tackle there. So, Vikings are going to have pretty good field position to start with. We'll see if the Tiger defense is going to be able to play like last week and really hold that position.
Keep your eye on freshman sensation Sawyer Purdue at that left defensive end slot, as well as Jacob Patterson. Those guys really wreaked havoc last week. They're going to need to put pressure on this Osborne. He looks like all the part of a quarterback, Brett, 6'5". Looks like he could throw the ball. We'll find out here. He's in shotgun formation. 1st and 10, trips to the right side for the Vikings. Put a man in motion here. Vikings now shift into a tight formation, but 3 to right side. Low snap, handoff, little reverse pass, wide open down the middle, and it's going to be caught there down to the 30-yard line of Red Oak. A little halfback pass there to start the game, Brett.
No, and Caden Samboth, in number 23, sophomore, he was able to sneak out there, the kind of the fake brought all the cornerbacks up for the Tigers and made a really good catch there.
Pass came from Cash Freeman, so right off the bat, an exotic play from head coach Davis Petit, and moves the ball all the way down to the Tiger 32-yard line on that halfback pass play to start the game. Receivers wide each side, single tailback behind Osborne in the shotgun formation. To Osborne, handoff to number 5. That is Lee. He's got some room, and he grumbles down all the way inside the 19-yard line. And the Vikings are on the move quickly here against the Tigers. They have moved right down the field, and they're inside the red zone here on their first possession. It'll be 1st and 10. They'll spot it just inside the 20 of the Tigers.
No, and Pace Shelley was able to come up from a safety position, make the tackle there on kind of the right side of the defense. You know, they were able to kind of overload that right end, get past Ethan Fouts there. So Tigers are going to have to kind of shore some of that up.
1st and 10 Vikings here. It's at the Tiger, call it 19-yard line here. Receiver each side, single back. Shotgun formation for Osborne. Snap to Osborne. Hand off the Lee. He's got some room on the left side. He's going to get to another first down. Still on his feet, rambling down, and he's going to get into the end zone. Yes, he is. A 19-yard touchdown run. Drew Lee would not be denied, and the Vikings strike first.
No, it really wasn't anything too difficult. He just kind of went off the left end there, kind of went between the tackle and the end. He was able to kind of split the defense in there and made a good hard run to go in for the touchdown.
3-play drive by the Vikings. Boy, what a statement there. The Vikings on the board with only a minute gone in the game. They're up 6-0, and they'll be kicking the extra point here. Looks like Freeman will take the kick for the Vikings. Snap, hold, kick up, and it is good. And with 10:58 to go in the first quarter, the Vikings of AHSTW take the opening kickoff, drive down the field, and they're on top 7-0. We'll be right back after these messages. They score first really quick on their first drive. They're up 7-0 on Red Oak, and they'll be kicking off the ball now. That was a 3-play drive, guys. They went right down the field and have 7 on the boards here. So they'll be kicking off now to Red Oak, and Freeman will kick the ball. He's going to kick it. It's going to be a short kick picked up short by the Tigers. Tigers pick it up, and they're going to advance it out to about the 35. So the Tigers will start 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line here.
No, it looks like Hudson Fisher was there kind of on the short recovery there, was able to get some positive yards on it. But we'll kind of see if the Tigers are able to kind of answer back here on offense.
Yeah, it kind of puts you on the pressure on the spot in the offense here. Mason Fisher, senior quarterback out here, almost 200 yards passing last week. He'll be under center, and we believe Jackson Purdue and Caleb Ransom will be the tailbacks for this Tiger offense as they start their first possession.
Along with Ethan Fouts. Yeah, they're going to kind of be Jackson Purdue is going to kind of be the fullback there, but looks like we're going a little bit slightly different formation.
Tigers trips to the left side, single back with Purdue. Mace Fisher in the shotgun gives it to Purdue. Up the middle, not much there. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. A nice tackle in there by number 70, Caden Jorgensen.
Purdue on the carry.
Nope, Jorgensen was able to really kind of clog up the middle there. Tigers weren't able to get much of a push there. I think they were trying to hope by going to the trips that kind of opens some of that middle up. So
second, we'll call it maybe a yard on that. 2nd and 9 here for the Tigers. Just underway here. Been the field. Vikings 7, Red Oak nothing. Fisher at quarterback. He'll take a shotgun snap here. Purdue and tailback. Receiver each side. Tight end on the left side. Fisher takes a snap. Give to Purdue. Purdue's going to rumble for another couple, maybe a yard again. Again, good job there, but a Viking defensive line. Not much there. And tackled in on there. It looks like number 5, Drew Lee, in on that tackle.
No, and pretty much what the Vikings are doing here, they're almost running kind of a 4-4 defense here with 4 down linemen. They bring all their linebackers come up. It's actually kind of a 4-2-5, but they walk the other 2 down to make it look like a 4-4. So really the Tigers may have to start either running outside or trying to throw over the top to kind of loosen this defense up.
Way too much math there for me, Brett. I can't follow that, but here we go. Tigers on a 3rd and 7 here from there. We'll call from their 40. Fisher in a shotgun formation. Tigers bring a guy in motion. Fisher back to pass, looking, steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to run with the ball. He's going to run short and be short of the first down by a couple yards there. He advanced the ball up the middle, but that'll be 4th down here for the Tigers. The ball is at I'll call it the 47, and we'll see if Red Oak goes to punt here. It's about a 4th and 2. They've got to get, we're trying to see in the sun here, folks. We're trying to see about a 2, maybe 2.5 yard needed for 4th down. We'll see what the Tigers are going to do here.
Yeah, it looks like they're on about the 42. They need to get to the 45-yard line here. It looks like they are going to go for it here, though.
So early, we'll see the Tigers come. Maybe they're going to try to draw offside. They need to get to the line. 10 seconds on the play clock here. So Tigers showing that they're going forward here. Fisher in shotgun formation. Takes a snap. Toss pitch to Purdue. Purdue's going to go wide, and he's not going to get it. Good pursuit there by the Vikings. They stopped that 4th down run there. Vikings going to take it over here on the Tigers side of the field at the 44-yard line on a good defensive stop there.
No, they kind of swept it to the left there, but looks like number 5 there, Drew Lee, he was able to kind of sniff that out. So kind of a, high risky play there for the Tigers, turning it over on their own side of the field here.
So Tiger defense right back on the field here. 8:49 to go in the first quarter. It's Vikings 7, Tigers nothing. And you get the sense here, Brett, this is a big need here for the Tigers to kind of bow the back here defensively and try to hold the Vikings here if they can on this possession. You don't want to get down 2 scores this early in the game. Osborne in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the left. Osborne back looking. Pass over the middle. Not much there. Tackled immediately by Purdue, but it was completed. Probably about a 3-yard gain there. That was to Chase Wheatley. Maybe 4 yards on that, down to the 40-yard line.
No, this is one of if the Tigers can kind of keep their 2-3 yards of play here, where the last series was everything was explosive play. So hopefully the Tigers are starting to figure out a little bit, on defense, trying to solve this Viking offense here.
Osbar, just a sophomore, but looks very posed as that quarterback. Looks like he has total command. He's now going to go under center on this. I-back formation for Vikings. Give to the fullback in the middle. Ball I thought was loose. The ball is loose. And it is Red Oak's ball. Yeah, they tried to go fullback up the middle on a quick hitter, but the exchange was not good, Brett, and the Tigers jump on that ball.
No, it was one of those things. He tried to do the quick hitter up there and kind of fake the fumble, the high snap going over. And unfortunately for the Vikings, they actually fumbled for real on that one, and Tigers are able to pick up kind of a big play for the Tigers.
Yeah.
Hopefully the offense can kind of take advantage of it here.
Yeah, Vikings did not take advantage of field position on that possession. So Tigers now have their second possession of the game, and they'll be starting from their 39-yard line here. 1st and 10. Did not have much success on their first series. We'll see what the Tigers can do here. Going to have a receiver each side. Tailback Purdue, Fisher in the shotgun formation. 2 tight ends. Now they bring Fouts in motion. Fisher takes a snap, dropping back, looking under rush, rolling to his right, looking, gets the ball away, and it's going to be incomplete. Fisher took a hit on the sideline, but got rid of the ball before he was tackled, so it'll be incomplete. Be 2nd and 10 for the Tigers here.
No, it's really good coverage there by the Vikings there. And, Fisher made a really good decision there. You get the rollout, and you just kind of throw it out of bounds there. You don't want to take the big sack or take the big hit. Sometimes you got to live to fight another day.
I think that's where Mason's strength is on those rollouts, Brett. We've seen him do that consistently. He's very good when you get him outside that pocket, and he can see the field a little bit better. So 2nd and 10 here, probably a passing down here as well for the Tigers. Tigers go same formation as last time, 1 receiver each side, tailback with Purdue, Fisher in a shotgun. Now they bring Ransom in motion. Fisher's going to a little shovel pass inside. It's nothing there. They went to Fouts on the shovel pass, and the Vikings had that snuffed out.
No, that was actually kind of fortunate because it looked like Fouts is getting hit as soon as the ball got to him, but it results in kind of a 6-yard loss there for the Tigers.
Yeah, the Vikings were all over that. So Tigers behind the chains here, the long 3rd down. I think we have a timeout here. 7:49 to go in the first quarter. It's Vikings 7, Tigers nothing. We'll be right back after these messages. been the field in Red Oak where it's the Vikings of AHSTW up 7-0 on the Tigers with 7:49 to go in the first quarter. It's a 3rd and 15 for the Tigers at their 34 here, Brett. They need to be careful. Take what you can get here, but you don't want to have a turnover on this side of the field.
Now, it looks like, we just got a –
Fisher's going to be a shotgun. Put a guy in motion. Fouts running out. Fisher under pressure. Steps up. Looking. Still pressure. Gets the ball away. Passes deep. It's going to be incomplete. Looking for Cale Hall, but just overshot him. Tigers will have 4th down.
No, I think it's one of those things. I think Fisher wanted Cale to actually start going a little bit deeper, and he kind of cut the route short a little bit here. And I think if Hall would have kept running, it might have been a really big play for the Tigers there, but kind of a good job on Fisher to able to kind of scramble by a little time to be able to get the ball out of there.
And Cale Hall's got blazing speed, so. But 4th down here for the Tigers. Tigers will punt. Hall will stay in the punt. He'll punt from about his 24-yard line here. Tigers' second possession going nowhere here. Snap to Hall. Kick is away. It's going to take a Red Oak bounce, and it's going to roll down to about the 30, I'm trying to with the sun here, guys, 35-yard line of the Vikings, where the Vikings will take over here. We'll keep it right here. 7:35 to go, first quarter. Vikings 7, Tigers nothing.
No, I'm not sure that punt was actually partially blocked by the way it kind of came out there.
It looked like someone might got a hand on it there, but it took a Red Oak roll there, and the Vikings will start, like I said, for 1st and 10 from the 35 here.
Now, I think the really key right now for the Tigers is they need to start getting kind of a push on either offense and defensive lines. Right now, the Vikings have been able to kind of do whatever they want on the line.
Yeah, they absolutely been able to control the ball here. We'll see. They turned it over last time, but that first series they weren't at the field here. Vikings wide receiver each side, tailback behind Osbar. Osbar in the shotgun formation. Osbar gives it to Lee, and Ashley tackle there. There's another ball loose on the ground. Who's got it? We're waiting for a signal from the officials, and I think they're going to say Vikings maintain possession. Looks like they have, but there was a loose ball again. It looks like they're handing off to Gettler there, and again another kind of exchange on the handoff, Brett.
That sometimes happens. New quarterback, not used to working those receivers. It's so much a timing issue.
I'm not sure what the officials are confirming. Did you see a flag, Brett?
No, I don't know if they're saying that it was already recovered and that it came out later again, maybe after it's already done. So we're not sure, but I think the only thing we're sure of is that the Vikings will be
they're marking the
retaining
ball
possession unless there was a penalty on that.
I don't know. They're moving the ball back. They're going to say it's second. They still have second down, but they moved the ball from where it was at least what we thought was on the ground 5 yards back to the original line of scrimmage.
The only thing I can think of is maybe they called it a forward pass.
Possibly. Well, they got first down again on the marker. So it's first down, and now we got a jump by the Tigers. So I don't know what happened there. We thought it would be 2nd and 15. It wound up being 1st and 10 again, or now it's 2nd and 10. They have changed the marker. But with that penalty, it's going to be 2nd and they're going to call it on the Vikings here. So 2nd and 15, Brett.
No, that was kind of a strange little incident, that last play, because we got no signal from the officials to what anything was. And so hopefully the coaches got a little explanation, because I know up here we were a little frustrated with not knowing what's going on.
But with that penalty, that was a false start on the Vikings, so that will basically, Brett, move the ball back where we thought it was going to be with the fumble anyway. So it all turns out the Vikings are back where we kind of thought they would be. It's 2nd and 15 here for the Vikings. Osbar in shotgun formation. Trips to the right side here. Osbar with the pass. A little short pass completed. Runner up the middle. Not much there. The pass to Wheatley was completed. Just kind of inside little screen pass there. But
yeah, just kind of a quick little slant there, hoping to catch everybody off guard. But, linebackers and also including the safety there, Pace Shelley, were able to come up, sniff that out, and make a really good tackle and limit them to only about a 2-yard gain.
So 3rd and 13 here. Be big for the Tigers to get a stop and get the Vikings off the field here, Brett.
No, absolutely. Maybe try to get some field position out of this, but big play for the Tigers here. It's like there might be a little confusion there in the huddle, at least, it's where the play's going.
Vikings showing 3 to the right side, 1 receiver left, 1 tailback behind Osbar. Osbar takes a snap, looking, coming down underneath of Freeman. Freeman with the catch, but he's going to be tackled short. Well, good tackle there by Jackson Purdue.
No, he's been a really, really good, sure, open field tackler this year. So something that looked like was going to go for big yards only went for about 3 yards. So nice play by Purdue there to kind of force the punt there for the Vikings.
4th, and we'll call it 8, and the Vikings do bring out, it looks like they're going to punt team. Osbar looks like he is the punter as well. The Tigers will drop back Jackson Purdue as well as Marcus Torres on this 6:01 to go. Vikings up 7-0 over Tigers here in the first quarter. Been the field. Snap, kick is away. Nice high kick. Coming down, it's going to settle in at about the 30-yard line and roll dead there. The Tigers will take over 1st and 10 from their 33. It looks like we're going to continue with the action here, so we'll keep it right here, I guess, right now.
I know it looked like Tigers are getting a little bit more creative with the play calling this last one, and really their big thing is they need to get some positive yards. That way can really open up the offense, so they're not being so predictable on the 2nd and 3rd downs that are long, more than 8 yards.
Yeah, so Tigers here with their 3rd possession take over 1st and 10 at their 34. Fisher at quarterback, Purdue at running back, and you have Torres out left, Fouts in at tight end. Fisher in that shotgun formation, takes a snap, gives to Purdue, nothing there. Great tackle in there, just shooting the gap in there is number 32, Cash Freeman.
No, he kind of came from his outside linebacker position. He really wasn't fooled. He stayed home there, and, they weren't able to get any blocks on him. And so good play by him to come up and really fill the hole there.
The Tigers have gotten absolutely nothing on the rush game. In fact, they'd be a negative yardage, I'm sure, right now. It's going to be 2nd. It looks like they maybe got a half yard on that, but it's going to be 2nd, and we'll call it 9 for the Tigers here. Tigers just really not anything going yet offensively. Tigers will come out with Torres, Hall to wide side, Purdue at running back. Fouts now comes in motion. Fisher goes back, looking under pressure, gets the ball away, looking for Hall. Incomplete. Trying to get Hall on an out pattern there, but
the pressure was really coming up there for Fisher there. He was kind of running out of time there, and kind of, he was able to get the pass out there, but it looked like Sage Boltzer from the Vikings there was really able to flush him out and force kind of an errant throw.
So the Tigers again with a long 3rd down here, a 3rd and 9 at their own 34. So just nothing going for the Tigers, nothing clicking right now. This Viking defense has been absolutely dominant so far here in the first quarter. Fisher at shotgun formation, Purdue behind him in the tailback. 3 to the right side for the Tigers. Snap to Fisher. Fisher dropping back under pressure, rolling to his left now, looking, passes out here, and it's going to be high, trying to get it to number 3, Marcus Torres. He was open, but overshot him. It'll be 4th down.
No, Fisher was able to really buy some time because it looked like a big old number 70, Caden Jorgensen, was there really to kind of, rush the throw. But, Fisher really was able to get out there, just kind of sailed a little bit over Torres' head. So
Tigers will be punting here from their 33 with 4:54 to go in the first quarter. Vikings 7, Tigers nothing. Cale Hall will be back to punt for the Tigers. Doesn't look like he's taking quite that deep of a drop on that punt that we see. There's a snap. The kick is away. It's a good high kick. It's going to come down and calling for a fair catch, and it's going to be caught right at the 35 there by Colin Harder. So 7-0 Vikings over the Tigers. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Vikings with the play now, hand off to Leadley. He's got some room. The 40-45 is going to be brought down about the 48-yard line. And nice play there, nice run there by Drew Lee to start this series for the Vikings, and they're going to get a first down there, push it out to the 47-yard line.
Yep, number 1, Noah Smirniotis was able to come up there from his cornerback position, make the tackle, else it might have gone for a touchdown on that one.
So, yeah, Vikings with another first down here. We kind of saw that first possession of the game, Brett, where they just kind of hit the Tigers with the blitz of offense there, and the next 2 possessions, Tigers will kind of take care of business, but a good run there to start this series for the Vikings here. Vikings still in the huddle with 10 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to hustle here, Brett, to get this in, or they're going to have to call a timeout.
Well, I think the officials are going to give it to him because they needed to. It looks like they gave him the first down. They're going to stop play because the chains haven't moved.
The chains are not – our chain gang guys are not.
Well, I don't know if the referee didn't – if the side judge there didn't move him over or what the case was.
Yeah, I was confused about why the ball was marked ahead of the sticks and they moved the sticks. So they have now moved the sticks, so it's – 1st and 10 and 47. First home game. Chain gang's getting the kinks worked out over there, guys.
Yeah, I think maybe some there over on the other side as far as the side judge there. I think he might have just forgot to signal them there. I think he's going to tell him the white hat there, hey, my bad, I didn't get him moved in time. So
probably a little more communication from the on-field official would be good here. So here we go.
It's like we're getting the ball set
now
again.
Now there's a flag. The flag is waved off. I don't know.
Well, I think they're going to call delay a game on that one. I think that's what he was throwing the flag for, but I think the problem was they just hadn't reset the chains. So it looks like we're about ready to go here because it really was an official timeout.
It will be 1st and 10 from the Vikings at their 47-yard line. And here we go. Osbar will be in shotgun formation for the Vikings. Tigers showing blitz here. Give to Lee. Lee cuts inside. He's got some rooms. Still on his feet. He's going to go all the way. Brett, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Vikings. No flags. Drew Lee with a 54-yard touchdown run for the Vikings.
No, I think you got to give that up to the Viking line. He really wasn't touched for at least 7 yards before he got into the secondary. So right now, the Vikings are really just controlling the line of scrimmage, and Tigers are going to really have to try to find something here to see if they can kind of compete with that.
Yeah, that was just pretty much a run up the middle. He got a couple key blocks there and had the foot speed out, race the Tigers to the goal line, and Vikings are up 13-0 here. Going to kick the extra point. Cash Freeman in to kick the extra point for Vikings. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. With 3:58 to go in the first quarter, it's AHSTW Vikings 14, Red Oak nothing. We'll be right back. Quarter, AHSTW Vikings 14, Red Oak Tigers nothing, and this is a game that the Vikings have just pretty much dominated, Brett, other than a turnover they had. They have controlled both offensively and defensively in this game.
No, right now it's all come down to line play.
Freeman with the kickoff for the Vikings, going to be short. It's going to be picked up by the Tigers. Tigers are going to take it to the 30, 35, 36-yard line where the Tigers will start. And they got a flag on the play.
No, it looks like Fisher was able to get the ball and kind of make some positive yards there, but
they're going to something on the Vikings here. I don't know if there was maybe a face mask. We'll see if our referee gives us a signal here. Looks like we have a hit to the head. Is that targeting? Is that what I see, Brett?
I think so. Unfortunately for us, the sun's kind of right in our eyes right now looking at the white hat.
Coach Petit is asking for a clarification. That's going to be a 15-yard mark off, so that's going to advance the ball across the mid-stripe. Tigers will take 1st and 10 at the Viking 49. I think there's some question there from Coach Petit about the call.
Unless they're saying he was defenseless as he is going down, he is going to the ground,
Could
and
be.
He kind of led with his head. So that would be the case. That kind of would be a targeting call.
Nonetheless, Tigers will have their best field position of the game. They're 1st and 10 at the Viking 49 here. Tigers need to get something going offensively. Fisher at quarterback. Tigers will trips to the right side, single receiver this side. Purdue at the tailback slot. Fisher with the snap. Back, looking deep, going deep, trying to get Torres. And the pass is going to be incomplete. Boy, looking for Torres down the left side. Well defended in there by Colin Harder with the Vikings.
I tell you what, that was a really good ball there. It kind of was able to put a lot of touch on it and floated over the defensive player there, and Torres just wasn't able to come up with the catch there.
Kind of a one-on-one jump ball situation there, and like I said, Colin Harder, Vikings did a good job defensively there. So it'll be 2nd and 10 here for the Tigers. And a long first quarter, guys. Seems like we've been in the first quarter forever here. 3:49 still to go in the first quarter. Tigers here going to bring trips to the wide side here, Brett. Single receiver to the other side, and Purdue in the tailback slot. Fisher, shotgun formation, takes a snap, dropping back. Pass to Fouts. Fouts catches inside. He's going to drag some guys with him, pick up a couple, 2 or 3 yards, but he tried to get Fouts there on the inside. Got called inside slant.
Yeah, Gatlin Gettler was there for the Vikings there for the Vikings, but they sniffed that out pretty quick and just a very minimal gain.
I like the fact to see that try to get Fouts involved offensively. He's such a good target there, Brett. I'd like to see that. Tigers trying to get him involved in the offense. It's going to be 3rd and 8 here for the Tigers. I don't believe the Tigers have gotten a first down yet tonight in this game.
No,
So-
I mean, this is kind of a big play for them if they're able to kind of keep the ball moving here.
So 3rd and 8 at the 48. Tigers need to get to about the 39-yard line for a first down here. Fisher at shotgun formation. They're going to bring Ransom and Mosen. Fisher back, looking under pressure. Now gets the ball way over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to get Torres there. Looked like Torres broke open, but passed this out of his reach, and it's going to be 4th down. But
No,
Torres was there in the middle, just like I say, they couldn't connect.
No, it was a good throw, good pattern. He was able to kind of get it on kind of the 3rd level there of the defense, and just kind of sailed it just a touch high there. Even though he was looking down the barrel there of big Caden Jorgensen was rushing Mason there really well. So it was a good job just to get the pass off.
Red Oak will punt here, Hall in punt formation. 14-0 Vikings over Tigers. 2:59 to go in the first quarter. Hall will be punting for Red Oak. And the snap to Hall. The kick is away. Pretty good kick. It's going to take a Red Oak bounce, and it's going to go in just over the line, end zone. Boy, almost a great punt there, but nonetheless it goes across the goal line. Vikings will take 1st and 10 from their 20. We'll keep it right here. Looks like they're going to keep the game rolling here. So, Brett, a long field here for the Vikings. I think, like I say, the Tigers need to – first things first, got to shut down that run game. Vikings have pretty much controlled that to this point.
No, I mean, and it hasn't been anything too difficult. It's mostly just going off tackle there on either side. So the Tigers really need to start, stopping that run, do a little bit more maybe on the linebackers to kind of shore some of that up. At least just kind of cut down on some of these big plays so far for the Vikings.
So Vikings here starting 1st and 10 from their 20. Osbar in shotgun formation. Vikings have trips to the left side. Tigers are showing their basic defense here. Osbar in a rollout under pressure. He gets away, pass away. It's incomplete. Heavy pressure there from Sawyer Purdue.
No, and you also Hayden Jones there, I think, were the big ones with that. Kind of forced the pass there, so Osbar kind of was able to sail the pass there, trying to get it to connect there with Chase Wheatley. But, this is kind of one of the first pressures that the Tigers have actually gotten on this Viking offense.
Yeah, Sawyer Purdue, just a freshman coming from that backside there, almost got there, but he put the pressure, maybe got the pass away a little quicker than Osbar would like and causes an incompletion. So 2nd and 10 here for the Vikings. Vikings will come out, and they're going to show a tight formation here. 2 receivers in tight to each side. Osbar in shotgun. He takes it. He's going to hand off to Gettler. Gettler on the sweep to the left. Got some room. Rumbles outside. Gets a good push there. Almost close to the first down. He's going to be short of by a couple yards, but a good surge there by the Viking offensive line.
No, they're just kind of fake power to one side and just came across to the other side. But definitely we've so far seen a pattern. They're really running behind Caden Jorgensen, number 70, the kind of the big offensive tackle there for the Vikings.
Ball on the 27. It'll be 3rd and 3 here. Vikings need to get just beyond the 30 to pick up the first down here. 3rd and 3 for Vikings. Still in the first quarter here. Vikings 14, Tigers nothing. Osbar's now going to go under center here on this. Fullback up in the middle. Going to give to Freeman. Now, this is the play they ran earlier, but they fumbled on, and that play is going nowhere. I don't think that play is working for the Vikings tonight, Brett.
No, I think the Tigers really sniffed that one out. They didn't really take that fake going back, and I think they actually lost a few yards here.
So let's see. The Vikings are showing they're going to go for it here. Let's see. They're on their own 27 here. They're showing they're going for 4th and 3 here. Let's see if they're going to try to get the Tigers a jump, or maybe they'll drop back and punt. But they're showing trips to the right, 3 side. 16 seconds on the play clock. I think the Vikings are trying to draw the Tigers here, Brett. Move Freeman in motion now, 2 to each side. 7 seconds on the play clock. Osbar back, still snapping his hand. 3 seconds on the play clock.
And it's actually a penalty that's going to be on the Vikings here with number 2 there. It looks like, Gatelin Getler kind of, that's a long time to kind of hold there, and he actually kind of fell forward there a little bit, just kind of lost his balance.
So back him up 5, so Vikings will definitely punt here. 1:20 to go in the first quarter. Vikings 14, Tigers nothing. Big crowd here, guys. Good turnout by Red Oak here. We got good crowds on the other side. The Viking fans are here as well. Perfect night for football.
And it looks like we got Torres back along with Jackson Purdue there. Hopefully they're going to be able to get a good return here.
Snap to Osbar. Osbar with the boot. It's a low boot. It's going to take a bounce for the Vikings. Settle up. Picked up by Torres. He bobbles it, but now he moves up to right side, comes back to left side. And he's a lot of running, but not much forward progression there. He'll settle in at 35 where he's tackled. Tigers will start their possession there.
No, that's kind of a dangerous thing. A lot of times you want to pick that thing up there, but he kind of bobbled it. Luckily, he was able to kind of secure it before that first hit came. Had a lot of excitement going back and forth, but really wasn't able to go forward with it.
So Tigers here at the end of the first quarter, trying to get something to go offensively.
We're still
going to get some scores here. We'll come back. We'll take a break. We'll have our field executive producer with some early scores from around the region tonight. Big game down in Page County, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Tigers here, 1st and 10 from the 35. Fisher in shotgun formation. Receivers to the side. They got a jump there. Hard count. I think they're going to get the Vikings on a jump there, Brett.
Yeah, it looks like kind of sometimes if you want to slow that defensive line, really going all the way down to little kid level, what do? You go on 2.
Stagger that cadence. Instead of ready, set, go. Ready, set, no go.
Or go.
Go.
There you go. So kind of, like I said, hopefully we'll be able to slow down that defensive line there for the Vikings, and hopefully the Tigers are going to be able to take advantage of some of this.
So 1st and 5 for the Tigers at their 39. They need to get about 49 for that first down. Tigers showing 2 the short side, 1 receiver this side, tailback Purdue. Fisher shotgun formation. Give to Fisher. Fisher to Purdue. Purdue cuts it back inside. Maybe picks up a couple yards there before he's brought down there by a host of Vikings. Drew Lee as well as Freeman in on that tackle. And number 59, Jackson Jensen's been in on that tackles. So it'll be 2nd and 4 here for the Tigers. They'll need to run one more play this quarter here on week 2 of high school football. Tigers, receiver each side, Purdue in the tailback, Fisher in the shotgun formation. Snap to Fisher. High snap. He controls it, but that high snap threw off the play, Brett. And nothing there. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's probably going to take us down the first quarter here. It'll leave the Tigers with a 3rd and 4. So that'll be the end of the first quarter here at Bend the Field tonight. It is say it for me, Brett.
AHSTW.
Thank you. 14, Red Oak, nothing. We'll be right back after these messages. Back here at Bend the Field, executive producer. AHSTW 14, Red Oak nothing. Aaron, what do you got on the scoreboard? Give us some scores.
So I'll give you a couple of scores here that I have. In the first quarter, Shenandoah over Clarinda 7-0 in that contest down there. That's a big one.
Page County Super Bowl.
There you go. Bulldog. Oh, you're going to have to go back, Matt. I'm going to grab my.
Brett, you got
there you go, Brett. Let's go over
Brett,
to the great.
Well, it looks like
our producer has failed us.
Well, it looks like Lennox is up on Bedford 8-6 there.
That's where I was going.
Okay, and it looks like Fremont Mills is tied with Boyer Valley at 6 there. Early game also, Glenwood is up 7-0 over Harlan. So
that's Glenwood's the 4A school there. Harlan's a 3A school there. So we think of Harlan and but they're actually playing up against Glenwood tonight.
Yeah, and just another good game going on here around the area. Trainer and Van Meter actually tied at 7 here
both
in the second
teams.
quarter. Yes.
Different classifications. And kind of a surprising score.
Well, Stanton is up on the Vikings. Stanton Vikings are up on East Mills Wolverines 6-0.
Here we go. 3rd and 4 for the Tigers here at their 40-yard line. Fisher under center for this one. Tigers are going to get called for a movement there. They're trying to go on some count there. The Tigers jump. That's going to push them back and make this a long 3rd down play. So Tigers will be faced with a 3rd and 10 now. The ball will be pushed back to the 35, where they went from a makeable 3rd down. Now they're going to a situation where Tigers will probably be passing here.
No, and so far the Tiger offense has been struggling. So to back it up a little 5 yards here, it's going to be really tough.
Fisher in the shotgun formation. Tigers wide receiver each side, tight end each side, tailback behind Fisher. Now they bring Fouts in motion. Snap to Fisher. Fisher drops back, looking, passes away. And it's going to be high, trying to get it to his guy, trying to drop it over. It was well covered, Brett, but he had to kind of drop it over the defense. It was just a little bit high to Ransom.
No, it's one of those things you're trying to get it over the first line of linebackers and just not, kind of between the cornerback there, because it looked like they're dropping a lot of zone coverage there for the Vikings. And that's kind of a hard thing to do, especially when a lot of our receivers really aren't the tallest people out there. So, it's a hard throw to make, but, so far Fisher, he's been close, but hopefully we'll be able to complete those later on here. 4th
down here, Tigers in punt formation. Snap is away to Hall. High snap, but he gets it. Kick is away. Good kick. High kick is going to be fielded by, I believe, that is Harder. Harder's going to bring out 45, brings back the other side of the field. He's got some room. He's got some wide open speed. That is Harder. He is going to the 10, 5, going to be down into the end zone. He makes a call on Harder with a punt return touchdown for the Vikings.
Cade Hall wasn't quite able to make the tackle there, but no, he just kind of came back, started to the left and came all the way back to the right, and, Tigers weren't able to contain that well enough. But it looks like we got some referees here standing about the 35-yard line, so I'm wondering if there's some laundry on the field here.
There's some laundry on the field here. Looks like this. They got that sense like it's coming back, and there is a push in the back signal on the Vikings, so that punt return will be wiped off the board, and from the spot, the flag is at the 35 or 36-yard line, so that'll be a 10-yarder. The Vikings will take over 1st and 10 from the Tiger, we'll call it maybe 47-yard line when they get this marked off.
And for those of you watching online, the sun is just about going down, so hopefully you'll be able to see the game here a little bit better.
Red Oak, one of the unique fields in Southwest Iowa where the home sideline is on that opposite side and gets that sun. Why is that? Because the highway's on the other side, guys, and there's not enough room to put a bigger stands on that side of the field. So that's why that is.
Pretty much us and Clarinda are the only ones around this area that I know of in that situation.
A little bit of trivia there for you.
There you
go.
So
1st and 10 for the Vikings here at the Tiger 47-yard line. Osbar will be in shotgun formation. Vikings with trips to the right side. Guys trying to get the chains moved over there. Osbar with the snap. The pass over is going to be dropped down. The knee was down. That pass with the Wheatley, and he actually caught it behind the line of scrimmage, and his knee was down, so they'll lose 2 yards on that play.
And it looks like the Tigers were actually, Ethan Fouts there was able to get some pressure on the quarterback, kind of forced that throw just a little bit quicker and forced it low.
Just underway here in the second quarter. It's Vikings 14, Tigers nothing here at Benda Field in Red Oak. A perfect night for football here on week 2 of high school football. Vikings scored on their opening drive in 3 plays going right down the field, and then they get another touchdown later in the first quarter. They get 14 points. They're up 2 scores here in the Tigers, and now they're at the mid-stripe here of the field with a 2nd and 12, we'll call it. Osbar in the shotgun formation, dropping back, looking to swing pass out here to Lee. The completion of Lee, he's got room, 40, cuts it back into 30, going down to 20, still on his feet, 15, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Boy, that was just a little swing pass that went all the way, Brett.
No, they were able to kind of get the outside linebackers there. They were able to kind of force them up, trying to cover the run there, just right over the top there. And I tell you what, that's some good hard running. Tigers right now, just not very sure tacklers there, kind of in the open field. He's able to run through about 4 arm tackles there on the way to the end zone.
Yeah, nice play. They brought Lee out here to the wide side, and he made a couple jukes there and went all the way in the score, and they're up 20-0 here. Freeman will be on for the extra point here for the Vikings. Snap, a bad snap. It's back on the turf. Freeman's going to just fall on it. So there'll be no extra point there. So 10:39 to go in the second quarter. We'll take a break. It's Vikings 20, Tigers nothing. Bend the field in Red Oak. It's second quarter, 10:39 to go. AHSTW Vikings 20, Tigers nothing. Vikings just score on a long pass play, and they are now in real control of this game. Brett, not only offensively but defensively, they have just shut the Tigers down.
No, it's right now the Tigers, it looks like they do have some opportunities to pass, and right now just Fisher hasn't been able to connect with his receivers. Hopefully be something at halftime, maybe they can, or even on the sideline, try to get some of that fixed up, maybe try to drop the receivers back in depth just a little bit more to be able to give them a better chance for Fisher to complete those passes.
Freeman will kick the ball off from the 40 for the Vikings here. And the kick is a good kick, deep kick. It's going to be fielded by Cale Hall at the 15, up to 20. Cuts it back inside. It's going to be dropped down there about the 26-yard line there. So the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 there at their 26-yard line. Trying to get just something to going, Brett. They have not even gotten the first down yet. So just something positive offense here would be huge for the Tigers. They can move the sticks a couple times at least and kind of try to get this offense a little bit some confidence here.
No, absolutely. Like I said, we've had the opportunities have been there for the Tigers right now. They just haven't been able to connect. But, this is a big drive for the Tigers to see if they're going to be able to kind of stay in this game here. That
Viking defensive line of Jorgensen and Scheffler and number 50 Jackson Shutters have really done a great job. As well as Jackson Jensen. They have just stymied that Red Oak run game completely tonight. So Tigers here 1st and 10, though. Bring 3 receivers out to the wide side. Purdue's in the tailback. Fisher at shotgun. Snap goes to Fisher. Fisher drops back, looking, rolls to his left now. Looking to pass his away, trying to get his guy, and it's caught. Nice play there. Caleb Ransom with a nice catch there from Mason Fisher.
No, Fisher had a lot of time there. He kept rolling out to his right, and tell you what, Ransom was able to kind of just find that soft spot in the zone there and was able to make a good catch right before he went out of bounds.
20-yard pass completion there, by far the Tigers' best offensive play of the night, and also their first down. They're now at their own 45 there, so there's a little bit of something for the offense here. Tigers now with trips to the left side, wide side, single receiver this side. Purdue in that tailback behind Fisher in the shotgun. Tigers take the snap. Fisher dropping back, looking. Jorgensen under pressure. Fisher eludes him, rolling to his right, still rolling, and he's just going to get rid of the ball there. Good job by Fisher to avoid the tackle. He was under pressure, and he just got to live for another day, Brett.
No, one of those times, I tell you, 70, he was just able to – it wasn't even a bull rush. He was just able to kind of juke out the – Mr. Purdue there over on the side and, kind of come as a free runner there. And luckily, Fisher was able to kind of get outside the pocket, get the ball away, and just to fight another down.
You got a 6'6" senior, 250-pounder going against freshman Sawyer Purdue. Sawyer's a good one, but he's got his hands full with this senior player tonight faced up across from him. 2nd and 10 here for Fisher. Tigers go trips to the wide side. Fisher with the snap. Outside the Fouts with the catch inside, but it's going nowhere. Vikings are all over that. It'll be a loss of yardage. They're trying to get Fouts on an inside. They call it kind of a slant pass, and it's just not there.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to do those easy passes, hopefully get some confidence there, bring everybody up. But Gettler there for the Vikings was there to kind of sniff that out. So far, it looks like the best of 6 for the Tigers. Even when those completions or not even completions looking like they close has actually been down the field.
Vikings 20, Tigers nothing here. 9:52 to go in the first half. It's been all Vikings. Tigers are here with 3rd and 12 at their 44 3-yard line. Tigers going to have to hustle here. 10 seconds on the play clock. They're to the line of scrimmage here. Trips to the left side. Fisher in shotgun formation. Snap to Fisher. Handoff, kind of a double reverse here to Fowles to the side. He's going to cut back inside now, but comes the other way. Cuts inside. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Picks up some hard yards there. Actually picks up probably 6-7 yards there, but it's going to be short of the first down. And it's going to be 4th and 5, Brett.
You know, Tigers trying a little playground call plays there, kind of with the double reverse there. But, you know, I would say number 70 there, you know, for the Vikings there, Caden Jorgensen, we call this name a lot, you know, playing on kind of the left end there, was able to force that right back inside.
So Tigers right at midfield here. They're showing like they're going to go for this, Brett, here on 4th and a full 5 yards here. They've got to get the ball beyond the 45 of the Vikings to pick up a first down here. Tigers going wide receiver each side. They bring Ransom in motion. Fisher takes the snap. Jorgensen coming again hard to pass away. There's going to be a holding call here, Brett. Even if the Tigers completed that, that would not have been a completion because I'm pretty sure this is a holding call.
Well, and, of course, they're going to go ahead and decline the penalty here,
Yep.
so it looks like the Tigers are going to go ahead and turn the ball over here on downs.
Yeah, that's exactly what was holding on the Tigers. The Vikings will decline, and they will take over on that 50-yard line. That's what that defensive pressure does. Brett, Jorgensen has just been a beast on that side so far tonight.
You know, so we're kind of you know, with the Tigers kind of going on kind of a 2 wings there on the offense. We'll see if they maybe start moving one of those backs over there to
double up and try to
help up with some pass protection there.
Yeah, that's a big ask. Yeah, as talented as Sawyer Purdue is, and he's got good size, he is just a freshman. This is his second varsity game. That's a big ask to go against probably an all-district player and a kid like Caden Jorgensen here. So 1st and 10 Vikings, they'll take over at the 50 here.
Well, it looks like we got a couple new kids coming in here just to kind of give some of these guys some breaks here. Looks like for the Tigers, I know for end number 23 here is coming in there, Zane Sloan, who's a sophomore.
Osbar in shotgun formation for the Vikings, takes the snap, hand off to Lee. Lee brings it outside. Jukes gets to the 40, down inside of 38 before he's tackled and brought down there. Nice power run off the right side.
No, they were able to just crash down on the end there. Zane Sloan, who just came into the game, kind of picking on him early, but you know, they were able to kind of get numbers out there to the edge, and so far the Tigers haven't been able to kind of shed those blocks.
You know, Lee's not a speedy back, but he's a shifty back. He's really, he's able to elude runners and runs hard, and he's getting some good blocking from that line, and Vikings are moving the ball on the ground. 1st and 10 here at the Tiger 39-yard line. Osbar in shotgun formation. He's going to give to Gettler. Gettler's going to crash in there. Tigers meet him, but still, with that offensive push, he's going to pick up 5 yards just on a power play to the right side.
You know, pretty much that was the same play as last time. All they're really doing is kind of doing that little zone read there, and they're just going either right or left. You know, a lot of it's going either right off tackle or right off the, tight end there. And so far, it's been working for the Vikings, so they'll probably just keep going to that well till the Tigers are able to stop it.
Patterson and Jones, I believe, were in on that tackle for the Tigers. And you got to wonder, as much as the Red Oak defense has been out there getting just out there in these long series, a lot of time of possession for the Vikings here in the first half. 2nd and call it 6 at the 34-yard line. Osborne shotgun takes it, and it's going to be a little reverse handoff here to number 13, Chase Wheatley, and he's going to be pursued down well there by the Tigers.
Tell you what, they kind of made that whole play there. Number 6 there, Jackson Purdue, he was able to kind of turn that whole play back inside. It looked like he might have gotten beat outside, but he's able to turn it up, slow everything down, and really made that what looked like it was going to be a really big play into kind of a short one.
So 3rd and 6 balls at the 33 here for the Vikings. You got to think even if the Vikings don't get it here, Brett, it'll probably be a fourth down type thing here, but Tigers need to make it get a stop here on 3rd down. So Vikings are going to go trips to the wide side. Single running back here with, I believe, Gettler. Osbar in shotgun formation. He's going to take it. He's going to drop back, looking for a pass. Under pressure, gets rid of it. Completed. It's going to be caught by number 10. That is Colin Harder. He's going to inside the 10. Going to be dragged down about the 6-yard line. Nice play there by Osbar. He was under pressure from the backside, but gets rid of the ball for a big completion.
No, on that right side, they pretty much sent their trips deep and just brought, number 10 there, kind of come from the opposite side, from the left side, kind of drug across the formation and was able to, quarterback was able to find him for a big, long play.
Zane Sloan put the pressure on the Tigers. He was just a step late from making a big play there, but credit Osbar. He got that pass away and then advanced the ball down inside the Red Oak 10. They're going to have 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. The Tigers here. Vikings trying to get another one across the goal line here. Osbar will go under center here on this play. And he takes the snap. He's going to give to Gettler. Gettler's going to crash in the right side, still on his feet with the push. He's going to get across the goal line. Just a tremendous push by the offensive line. Touchdown, Vikings.
It's just kind of just willpower right there. It wasn't anything fancy. Just kind of went off guard there off to the right side, and it seems like they've been running off to that right side of the offense there, and Tigers may have to make some personnel adjustments maybe to get a little bit more over there, but so far it's been working for them.
So Vikings up 26-0 here. 6:27 to go in the second quarter. Freeman will be on to take the extra point kick for the Vikings. Snap. Oh, another bad hole. Goes to Freeman, though. He's going to run with it to the right side, but he's not going anywhere there. The actual snap from the center went through the holder's hands into the kicker's hand, and Freeman started to run the ball, but nowhere to go. So with 6:27 to go in the second quarter, it's AHSTW 26, Red Oak nothing. We'll be right back after these messages. The field, it's been all AHSTW as they're up on the Tigers 27-0 here. They'll be kicking off to the Tigers. Brett, some quick scores. What do you got around the area?
Kind of the close game, Page County Super Bowl. Shenandoah's leading Clarinda 7-0, and that game is at halftime right now. And unfortunately for the Sydney Cowboys, they're on the wrong end of a 40-0 game already.
What's the stand score real quick? Kickoff goes away by the Vikings. A short kick. It's going to be caught, but then dropped a bit, picked up by the Tigers. It was kind of almost like a little short drop kick there. And for the Tigers, it was Zyler Lamb that fell on it. What's that stand score?
Well, it's still 6-0 Stanton over East Mills, but it says it's first quarter, so that's one of those games who probably hasn't been updated for a while.
So Tigers here, 1st and 10, will take over from their 30. Tigers really challenge offensively. They've only picked up one first down and really just not been able to get anything on the ground running-wise and passing-wise. The Vikings have been shutting that down as well here. But Tigers, boy, if they could just get some points on the board for a half, that would be huge. But 1st and 10 here for the Tigers at their 30-yard line. Fisher in there, quarterback. Receivers each side. Tailback, they now bring Purdue in motion. Fisher takes the snap, looking. Pass is going to be caught there by Fouts, and he's going to be dragged down about the 35, so he's going to pick up about 4 yards there.
And it looks like Gettler was there on the stop there, so hopefully try to get some positive yards here. Really, what the Tigers are looking for, try to get a couple first downs in a row here, and just to try to keep the offense on the field, kind of keep that clock moving. And, probably the big thing at this point, we don't want to be giving the ball back to the Vikings.
Yeah. Well, 26 points on the board for Vikings, but the Tigers have not turned the ball over. I mean, those have all been earned either long plays or possessions for the Vikings. So to this point, the Tigers have not turned it over, but this Viking defense has been uber aggressive. 2nd and 7 here. Fisher back under pressure, and there's a pass up in the air. It's going to be incomplete. Lucky that wasn't picked off, but he was under heavy pressure there, and as he released it, the ball was tipped but fell incomplete.
No, it kind of came from each end right there, and it wasn't anything just too hard. It wasn't exotic blitz or everything. When you're getting that kind of pressure with just 4 guys, and then it allows the Vikings to drop 7 there, and kind of the Tigers were lucky that that ball wasn't intercepted there.
Yeah, Vikings, just that defensive line, and then they're bringing their linebackers in. Freeman and has been playing for that linebacker spot, has just been ferocious. So it's 3rd, and we'll call it 7 for the Tigers at their 34-yard line here. 2 receivers each side. They bring Ransom in motion. Fisher back under pressure. He's trying to scoot up. Gets rid of the pass. trying to get Hall, but it's going to be overshot. Hall, his defender had fallen, but the ball went beyond where Hall was, so it's going to be incomplete. It'll be 4th down here.
No, I think Hall I think Hall actually thought that Fisher had already been sacked, so, he kind of just slowed up on the route, and it was one of those things. I think if he would have kept going, it would have been a touchdown for the Tigers.
So Tigers are going to come out here with I'm not sure if they're in punt formation or what they're here. They got Purdue back. They are going to put Hall back in punt formation here, so Tigers will punt. 4th down. Here they'll be punting from their 35. Back deep for the Vikings. Not sure who it is. The kick is away. Jorgensen was under pressure. That's picked up by Harder. Ball is loose, but the Vikings are going to fall on it. Yeah, Harder come over, try to make a running, diving catch, and he dropped it, but luckily for him, his teammate, number 4, Evan Harder, would that be his brother?
It sounds like he's helping a brother out
there.
So
would that be the younger brother bailed out the older brother on that play there, guys? Is that possible?
Well, I think you missed what I said just before that.
I heard you. I got you.
But, Marcus Torres was right there, and he just wasn't able to jump on it quick enough. That would have been something that would have been a big momentum swing there for the Tigers.
Do you think that would be a topic of conversation between the Harder boys on the way back about how the younger brother had to bail out the older brother on that fumble?
He's not heavy. He's just my brother, so it would have been okay.
I should have gone there with this. Now we got Brett on the brothers. Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Osborne with a handoff to Lee. Lee on the sweep to the right side. Nothing there. Good job by the Tigers. Good pursuit there upfield by Ethan Fouts to turn that play back inside, and Jackson Purdue cleans it up.
No, that was absolute there because if he's able to get past Fouts, that's another big gainer there for the Tigers. So really, coming down to effort there about the Tigers, those ends really have to be containing everything to come in and making sure those linebackers are kind of cleaning everything back up.
5 minutes to go here in the first half, 26-0 Vikings over the Tigers, and it's been all Vikings to this point here. And they're content just to kind of run the clock here a little bit. Looks like, in fact, they might be running this clock down. I think Coach Petit might be taking a timeout here. And, in fact, he is. So let's take a timeout with it. 4:40 to go in the second quarter. It's 26-0 Vikings over the Tigers. Back here in Benda Field at Red Oak, where it is AHSTW. I have to really go slow with that, guys.
Well, that's what happens. You're a year older this week, so when you
start to get Can I just call him Avoca? If I just call him Avoca, that probably would upset the HS, the T, and the W people if I just called him Avoca.
Right.
But nonetheless, it is the Vikings on top of the Tigers, 26-0. What are the other names? Avoca? What's the H?
Hancock.
S?
I don't know that one. Walnut is the W. T.
Shelby. And that's a T.
Tenet?
Trainer?
Tenet.
No, it's not Trainer.
Tenet.
Well, if you want to know about right now, we do have possibly a score for Trainer here just a little bit.
Second and 10 here for the Vikings at their 40-yard line. Now under center is Osbar. Osbar will take the snap. And he's dropping back, looking for the receiver. He's got a receiver wide open, but just overthrows him. Freeman broke free there, but overshot him. Incomplete.
Tigers are very fortunate on that one. Everybody was brought up, and they actually had the Vikings had 2 receivers free down the middle, covered by only one Tiger.
What is that Trainer score?
Well, it looks like Trainer is down to Van Meter, 14-7 here in the second quarter.
2 state-ranked teams there, but in different classifications.
And we got another ranked game going on here between Tri-Center and number 1 OABCIG, more alphabet. And Tri-Center is leading them 7-0 here in the second quarter.
The defending champs there up in Cooper DeJean territory tonight. 3rd down and 10 here for the Vikings at the 40-yard line. Tigers showing some sort of blitz here. Lee in motion, and we're going to have a flag here. I don't know if
looks like we got a false start here against the Vikings.
So I'll push the Vikings back. Another 5 yards here.
Got kind of an update on another score, local one here. It looks like now East Mills is up on Stanton here, 20-6 in the second quarter. So some of these just don't always get updated as quickly as we think they should. So, we'll kind of
they're not like our crack staff up here in the press box. I mean, we haven't brought the food out. There's no food yet, so these guys are having to pay attention. Usually when you bring food up here, we have a lack of performance in our booth because they're eating, but today they're staying on task. Vikings here with 3rd and 15. Osborne with the give to Lee. Lee's got running room. He's going to pick up that first down beyond the mid-stripe, down to the 40. Still on his feet, pushed out of bounds at 35. That was easy peasy right there, Brett.
Just going right off tackle again on that right side. It sounds, I feel like we're kind of a broken record here, kind of the same play over and over there. But, like we said earlier, if it's still working, you're not going to try to fix anything and try to get too fancy there. So
big long run there, we'll call him about a 25-yard run there for Lee, and that ball is all the way down to the Red Oak 36-yard line here. They pick up a long 3rd down conversion there. The Vikings are set up again here with 4:28 to go in a half. Marching on Red Oak again. Osbar shotgun formation, single tailback. Lee give to Osborne's going to keep it on the quarterback sneak, kind of keep her up the middle, gets probably 4 or 5 yards. Jones in on tackle for the Tigers, but it'll be, even with that play, Brett, they pick up 5 yards.
No, I think he just kind of felt bad for all the running backs, decided to keep it for himself that time. And, he is a little bit bigger of a target there for the defense. So, but I tell you what, it's just more of those things. He keep making different choices there on the offense. He keep going one way, then you try to hit another. And right now the Tiger defense really hasn't been able to kind of step up to the task and make some stops.
Osbar's going to go under center, kind of an eye-back formation with the fullback up. They're going to give that fullback again. It's just not there.
No, Patterson there on the great tackle there.
Almost had an exchange problem on that. Vikings are persistent. They want that fullback up play to go, and that's the 3rd time they've run it and 3rd time they've had no – that's about the only play Red Oak has stopped consistently tonight.
No, I think that was one of those, if you're a coach, you kind of take that one out of the playbook and you throw it in the garbage. So far that one hasn't been working.
3rd and 6 here at the Red Oak 30 for the Vikings. 2 to wide side receivers, 2 to the short side, single tailback. Osborne takes a snap, dropping back, looking, passes away. It's completed to Harder. Harder's got the first down and more. He's raced for an end zone, and he's going to score. 35-yard touchdown pass from Osborne to Harder. Vikings strike again.
No, that was pretty much a simple out there, and he just kind of came back to the ball and got the cornerback there for the Tigers there out of position. He was able to kind of curl back and just run right in free.
Yeah, he had the foot speed a little faster than I thought. He had some good foot speed there, raced away from the Tigers. 32-0, all Vikings here. Freeman they've had some adventures here on their extra points, so we'll see if the Vikings can get this kick away here. The snap, the hold is there, and the kick is good. And with 3:12 to go in the first quarter, it is Vikings 33, Tigers nothing.
Red Oak and Avoca. Matt?
Back here at Bentonville, it is all Vikings. They're up 33-0. 3:12 to go here in the first half. They'll be kicking off the Red Oak. And I spoke too soon, guys. The food has been delivered to the press box. I'm worried that our scoreboard operations will be impeded by this mad rush to the buffet that our scoreboard people are doing. Our announcer is leaving. They're all huddling around the food table. If the lights are turned off, we know what's going on. The boys are getting fed in the press box. There's a kick away. It's going to be picked up by Hall at the 20 for the Tigers, and he's going to be swarmed under there right at the 20. And the Tigers will start 1st and 10. I don't know what's on the buffet. I usually don't have a chance to get to it because by the time I'm done working, it's already gone.
I think it's funny that everybody in the booth is just not paying attention to Matt at all.
Well,
have you noticed that, Brett? They're
well,
all
what
just
I've been seeing a lot now is a lot of eye rolling here going,
I mean,
really? Are you kidding me?
he's not. No one is even paying attention
See, Bruce has made the first move. It's always
he took the whole plate.
He took the whole plate. Dion Coffey here is eyeing the other situation.
Some of that's what I expect from a Hawkeye fan, to just sit there and try to take everything from everybody else.
Easy.
1st and 10 here for the Tigers at the 20. Fisher in a shotgun formation, 2 receivers each side. Fisher takes a snap, drops back, looking under pressure now, gets the ball away. It's going to be completed. Nice catch there by Fouts at 30. At the 33-yard line, there's a flag. I think that might be a penalty on the Vikings.
I think we got a roughing there, the passer there. But
nice pass by Fisher. Nice catch by Fouts. The completion's there. That would be a first down alone with the pass. They might tack on another 15 here, and it looks like they are roughing the passer. So tack on another 15 there for the Tigers.
This is going to really bring the Tigers up to midfield, so hopefully they'll be able to take advantage of this good field position there. Maybe so far as the success has been, kind of get Fisher rolling out to either to the right or left and really start throwing the ball. So maybe the Tigers think they can do something with that. 2:59,
just to get some points on the board before half, Brett, would just be huge. Red Oak needs to get across that goal line. They were held to 3 points last week in Corning, so if they could get some points just somehow here, that would be, I think, real good for team morale here. So 1st and 10 at their 48, 2 receivers each side. Fisher, shotgun formation, Purdue behind him, tailback. Snap to Fisher. Fisher dropping back, stepping up, rolling, and he's going to step out of bounds, but picks up a few yards. There's a maturity of Mason Fisher. He got a couple yards, did not get a sack, didn't throw the ball in harm's way, but picks up some. Actually, you're going to spot him a little further than I thought, Brett.
It's like about a 5-yard gain on that.
5-yard gain.
That is kind of comes to maturity. Sometimes you don't try to make the play that's not there. You just try to get some of the yards that there. So instead of a 2nd and 10 there, they're looking at a 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 here. So, really good job on Fisher on that play.
Mason has seen a lot of rush. He's been under pressure ever since he was a sophomore. So, he doesn't get fazed by that. Here we go. 2nd and 6 for the Tigers. Vikings showing blitz. Fisher back, dropping back, steps up, let the pass go. He's got a guy, Fouts down long, and it's going to be incomplete. Boy, almost had a completion there. Good defense there by number 22, Sam Strom.
He was able to kind of break that up at the last minute and, kind of thought Fouts was going to be able to kind of get that, but kind of on the last moment here, he kind of got twisted up there. So, it was one of those things. The Tigers were really looking for that big play, but – so hopefully, maybe by going deep like that, they'll be able to bring an underneath route, about 10, 15 yards right underneath and make a big play that way.
Tigers offensively making a noticeable effort to get the ball to Ethan Fouts. He's a tremendous player, and he's got the size out there to go get that ball. So here we go. 3rd and 6 for Tigers at the Viking 47. Fisher with the give to Purdue, a little delayed handoff. He's going to be close. They're going to mark him just shy of the first down, Brett. It's going to be, well, let's see where they mark him. They're going to mark him actually about 1.5 yards short. The Tigers are going to go quick here. It's 4th and 1.5. Tigers already back on the line here. Brett, they're going to go quick, try to get the first down here. Fisher in shotgun formation. Takes the snap, drops back, looking, gets the pass away, and it's going to be incomplete, trying to get Ransom deep, and Fisher took a shot there. Boy, Mason's a tough kid. Walks away there, but he's got pressure. He's kind of limping away there. Mason took a hard shot last week in Corning, and again, just a uber tough kid. So that was 4th down, correct?
Yeah, it should be. Vikings should be taking over here right now.
I
know they were trying to do kind of that quick hitter, that kind of the draw play up the middle, because they knew they were going to go on 4th down and kind of hoping that they were going to get a little bit more. But probably in that situation would have been best to kind of go back in the huddle and really get everybody on the right page before that 4th down play.
So it's going to be 2 minutes to go here before half. Vikings with the ball at their 44-yard line. Halftime will be youth recognition night at Red Oak. The JVA football players and the YMCA flag football kids will be introduced at halftime. But we got 2 minutes to go before that. So Osbar here in shotgun formation takes the snap. A little quick, intercepted by Purdue. Purdue to 40, 30, 25. He's raised for an end zone. Touchdown Tigers. Jackson Purdue with the interception return.
No, that's kind of the big play the Tigers have been looking for. It's kind of just that quick pass out into the flat on the right side, and Purdue kind of actually just kind of played his position there, kind of surprised the quarterback, and kind of threw it right to him. It was one of those things, and I think Purdue was actually a little surprised that it actually came right to him as well, and he was able to race that 30 yards for pay dirt there.
Yeah, to Jackson's credit, had good hands, made the catch. Of course, he plays a receiver as well, and so that paid off on the defensive side. He takes it to the house. Tigers with their first touchdown, first points of the night. Let's see if the Tigers go for 2 here. Looks like they might go for 2 here, Brett. And they will be going for 2 here. 33-6, 153 to go in a half. Tigers going to go for 2 here. Fisher in shotgun formation. 2 receivers each side for the Tigers. Purdue and tailback. Give to Fisher. Fisher rolls to the right side, looking. Pass in the end zone. Incomplete. Trying to get Fouts in the corner of the end zone. It's going to be incomplete there. But the Tigers are on the board with 153 to go in the first half. It's AHSTW 33. Red Oak 6. We'll be right back after this message. Back here in Benton Field, Road Tigers just score on an interception return by Jackson Purdue. 35-yard interception return for the Tigers. They're on the board, but it's AHSTW 33, Tigers 6, 153 to go here in the first half. Tigers will be kicking off, but boy, Brett, that's good just to get some points on the board.
No, it just does great for morale, especially going into halftime here pretty quickly, and so – so far the Tigers haven't had a whole lot of cheer about, and trying to get that there. The home side was able to erupt, and everybody kind of felt good about that play. So hopefully they'll be able to kind of hold them off here.
Well, that's the second turnover tonight for the Vikings, and the Vikings actually put the turf on another time. They're lucky it wasn't a turnover. So you would think with that you wouldn't have 33 points on the board, but they've been really dominant offensively, but they've also made some critical miscues, and the Tigers have been jumping on those miscues when they've been able. They actually created those with that interception. Their pace. Shelley will be kicking off for the Tigers here. Deep for the Vikings, trying to see who's back there. Shelley with the onside boot. It's going to be received by the Vikings. Good job by the Viking player to come up and get that recovery. It was number 23 for the Vikings, Caden Sandbote, with the recovery for the Vikings. He took a hit there, but
no, he took a real shot, so kind of fortunate for the Vikings that he was able to hold on to it. And so
they'll have good field position, though, now with 150 to go. They'll be at their own 49, but the Tigers rolling the dice there, trying to go on the side kick. Did not get it, so the Vikings will have good field position here again to try to get some points on board for them before the end of half.
So, big thing for the Tigers here. You don't want to give up a score, before halftime here.
Osborne will be in shotgun formation. Vikings going that trip bunch. They bunch him to the right side, a wide side, 3 receivers. Have a tailback here. Osborne looking, going to go deep now. Looking for the guy. He's got a guy wide open. That's Gettler. Gettler makes a move, and he's going to score. That's going to be a touchdown for the Vikings. 50-yard touchdown pass. Osborne to Gettler. Gettler was wide open over there, and Osborne put it right on him, and touchdown Vikings.
No, that's pretty much the same play that they ran on the interception there, but instead of throwing it to the flat, the cornerback for the Tigers there just kind of bounced up looking for the run there and kind of let him get behind him, and nobody was close to him there. He had 15 yards around him before he was able to even catch the ball.
We'll have some stats for you at halftime, but Osborne with at least 3. I have not been keeping track. At least 3 touchdown passes in the first half here. Freeman will try the extra point here. Snap. It's a fake. Harder with a rollout. It's going to hit his guy there in the end zone. That was a 2-point play. Caden Sandbote with the reception. A little snap to the holder as a planned play, rollout, and they convert that for 2 points, and that's 41-6 now. Vikings, they decide we're done with this trying to do this extra point thing, and we're just going to go for it. We'll keep it right here, 140 to go. Our executive producer, Aaron West, is over in the chow line. Brett and I are pretty much here by ourselves. The only ones working in the press box. Brett and I.
He is getting a little diva-esque
here. We're the only ones here working, trying to carry the entire the lights, the scoreboard operations, announcing.
No one.
While
No.
our coworkers are all at the. I'm not sure what they've got. They got lobster or roast beef over there tonight. Not sure.
Yeah.
I won't see it. It'll be gone. Now it'll be gone by the time I get the chance to go to the buffet line. Now they're throwing things at me. But here we are, guys. We've got a divided booth. We got the Hawkeyes over there, and we got the Cyclones over here. I mean, Brett, I'm so excited. I may not even go to sleep tonight. I might just start tailgating to my driveway.
Well, hopefully you can get do you have any flag football games tomorrow?
We have practice, but I want to make sure that sucker's done quick and we get home. But we need to start playing Sweet Caroline on the radio here, get ready for the Iowa State expected victory tomorrow.
But no matter how the game ends up, make sure you're listening to here on KCSI FM here.
They're home of the
Hawks. Home of the Hawks.
Home of the Hawks.
Hawks.
Andy Ray's down there. I know he's a Hawk. I know Bruce is a Hawk. I don't know what Kells is. Kells, he's probably a Nebraska fan or something. I don't know what he is. Here we go. Freeman with a kickoff for the Vikings. It's going to be a short high kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a flag, so Tigers will have pretty good field position here with 1:40 to go in a very long, time-wise, first half.
Now,
is it midnight yet? What time is it, guys?
Well, I think we've just had a lot of passing here, and
Yeah.
whenever you have a lot of passing, really slows the game down here, unlike last week where not a whole lot of passes were being thrown, and so that game kind of zoomed right along here, here at 8:15, and kind of now Shenandoah and Clarinda are in the third quarter already. Now Clarinda's tied up that game at 7.
That game may be over by the time we get to halftime. So here we are, 1st and 10 at 35. Tigers with 1:40 to go. They got their time. They have 2 timeouts left if they can complete some passes here. And I think
But we'll kind of see how aggressive they get, because the last thing you want to do is give the ball back to the Vikings here in this situation.
Yeah, but I think at this point they just want to try to get something going offensively here. They're going to have 3 receivers, wide side, 2 short side. No one in the backfield. Fisher will take the snap. Jorgensen with the pressure. Passes away, incomplete, knockdown. Boy, Jorgensen was in there, and Fisher did a good job just to get the ball around him and delivered, but incomplete.
No, he's a tall kid, being about 6'5" here. So that's kind of one of those things that's hard for Fisher to kind of see around them and over him. So, the Tiger line's got to give him here just a little bit more time to, let those receivers go out and let Fisher here kind of survey the field and get the ball out.
Sawyer Purdue really battling him out to the right tackle. So here we go. A minute to go in the game. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Fisher in shotgun formation. No one in the backfield. Fisher rolls to the right now. Looking. He's going to let it go deep. Looking for Torres. It's going to be, incomplete. Almost intercepted there. In and out of the hands of Chase Wheatley. But it'll be 3rd and 10.
No, those are kind of those tough throws, over the middle here when it's about 25 yards down the field here. And, he was just able to miss it there.
Clock is running here with 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, well, didn't know if the Tigers are actually going to take it down here, almost take it down to 0. That way, besides an incomplete pass, they could almost take it to the half.
Tigers have 4 receivers out here, and it's going to be batted down. Jorgensen again with that pressure on the left defense hand, gets that big paw up there, knocks it down, incomplete, and the clock is running, and that will likely be the last play of the first half. And I believe that is the case. So, into the first half here on week 2 of football, been the field. It's been all Vikings as AHSTW's on top of Red Oak, 41-6. We'll be right back after these messages with some halftime stats and your spectacular halftime entertainment show. field where it's been all Vikings as they are on top of Red Oak Tigers 41-6 at halftime. Our stat person, Miss Timberly Bentley. What do you got on the stats, Timberly?
For passing yards for Mason Fisher, I have 5 out of 20 attempts, 34 yards. For running stats, I have Mason has 4 rushing yards. No. Yeah, 4 rushing yards and 9 yards. Jackson Purdue has 6, 8, and then Ethan Fouts has 1 and 7.
And I think the one kind of big offensive play was a 20-yard completion to Ransom, I think, on one of the play. Do you have team stats there? Red Oak at least has a couple first downs. I don't know if you have. Do you have any? I don't know if you have Viking stats, but Tigers will probably only a couple first downs, I think, in the first half.
2. We have 2, and then Avoca has 9.
Total offense. You have total offense yards for Red Oak. Probably not much, but I'd say the Tigers.
24 rushing yards.
You know, I will say, though, guys, even though there's not much offense, Red Oak hasn't turned the ball over yet tonight. You know, it's not like they've been – and actually, they haven't been heavily penalized either. You know, I mean, a couple penalties, you know, but Red Oak really has not played a – I wouldn't play a sloppy game. They just have been, playing a team that's been executing very well. What other information do you have, Miss Bentley, on anything that you noticed down there? You're actually up in the press box, so you would get to go to the buffet line as well, too.
Like you said, we have the Caleb Ransom pass. That was 19 yards.
So anyway, and tonight, Timberley, of course, at halftime here in just a few moments, will be youth recognition for football kids in Red Oak, the JVA program, which Mr. Eubank heads up. He's the commissioner of the JVA Football League, the commissioner. And then you are the soon-to-be commissioner of the YMCA flag football. We have the 2 commissioners right here for youth football in Red Oak.
Yeah, got a meeting of the minds here, I suppose, and because it looks like Mr. Davis there, because he's going to be too busy going through buffet lines to actually kind of run these things.
Well, get this, Brett. You'll be glad to know. In our flag football program, we converted to doing an NFL-style league, and we're collaborating with Corinna Shenandoah. Well, we have got the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, that's a good team to have.
But we have 2 San Francisco 49ers. One will be called the Kittle team, which will be no kid really wants to play on the Kittle team. Everyone wants to play on the Purdy
the Fighting
San Francisco
Brock
49
Purdy's
team
there.
in Red Oak. They're all wanting to play on the Purdy San Francisco 49er team that we have. Then the other teams we have are the Colts. We try. I wouldn't make them be Bears. I'm a Bears fan. I wouldn't do that. Make them Chicago Bear fans.
You know, that's tough. I mean, at this point, it's even tough making them Colts.
That's true.
I suppose the only thing that would be, worse for the kids there, would be making them Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
How tough is it to be a Cowboys fan?
Well, Timberley, what fan are you?
I'm a Steelers fan.
Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Oh, yeah, she's jumping on the bandwagon since the 1970s.
Is Aaron Rodgers a quarterback in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
He is.
Gosh.
I think he might have been, there around when Art Rooney was actually still running the team. He was probably still alive then.
Speaking of that, I've been banished from not to give any scores on the Chiefs game tonight because Mr. Ray is taping the Chiefs. Mr. Bruce, they don't want to know the score of the Kansas City Chiefs game. They're playing tonight in São Paulo, Brazil.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and they're actually playing American football there. It's not a soccer game. So
who are the Chiefs playing, Timberley? Do you know?
The Chargers.
The Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, L.A. Chargers.
Yeah, the L.A. Chargers, not the old San Diego Chargers.
Why are they playing on a Friday night NFL? Don't they know everybody in America's at high school football games tonight?
Hey, it's week 1 and you're playing overseas. So, that's probably what they're thinking about.
Is there a Taylor Swift concert afterwards or something?
Well, Chiefs fans could only hope, and so last night, hopefully it's not like a debacle like last night where you have the Cowboys and the Eagles going to a weather delay 4 minutes before halftime.
A guy got ejected even before the game's first play.
Yeah, it looks like Spittlegate or
Yes.
something like that going on there. But, it's just – I didn't even stay up for the second half of the game because, old men like me need to get to bed.
Red Oak Tigers band is out on the field here. It's halftime. 41-6 Vikings over the Tigers. Been all Vikings from the get-go. Tigers did get on the board, though, with a 35-yard interception return by Jackson Purdue. But pretty much all Vikings here. What scores do we have? Let's go around and we'll get some scores. Timberley, thank you. Help yourself to the buffet if there's anything left there. Fight your way through this crowd of people here who are...
Make sure you show your VIP pass.
Yeah, you need to flash your credentials there.
Because Mr. Mark Erickson, AD here at Red Oak, he making sure he's going to take care of us, but he's only going to take care of his guys.
Right, his guys.
Yeah,
his guys.
He doesn't need no stragglers coming up. But it looks like in the third quarter, Shannon Clarinda are still tied at 7. Glenwood is up on Harlan 10-0. They're in the third quarter. Atlantic is up on Denison 16-8 in the third quarter. Another tough one. Bedford and Lennox going. Looks like Bedford's leading 28-8 in the third quarter. ACGC is leading 42-0 over the Southwest Valley Timberwolves. And kind of a really good, I thought it would be a much closer game, but Riverside is defeating Mount Air right now 30-6, and that is a game at halftime here.
And just to say, that Mount Air team is a team that defeated Shenandoah last week, and now they're on the wrong side of the score against Riverside tonight.
Yeah, looks like Van Meter's still up on Trainer, 14-7. That shows it's still at half, so we're probably in the third quarter there. But another state-ranked one, Tri-Center is now up on OA-BCIG, 14-6 at halftime there. And looking on, Audubon is defeating Griswold. I think last score I saw was 68-0. And, sorry, everything just updated here. I lost all my scroll here. In other local games, Sergeant Bluff Luton is leading Lewis Central 17-14. And now still in the second quarter, probably hasn't been updated for a while. East Mills is still defeating Stanton 20-6.
That game is being played, I believe, in Essex tonight.
Yes, it is an Essex game. So some of the others, they just haven't been updated so far. So I guess the last score we really have is St. Albert's is up on IKM Manning 21-13. It shows second quarter, but that is also probably at halftime at this point.
So we talked pregame a little bit about the press release that came from Red Oak High School today. And of course, every year, Red Oak School Athletic Department looks at individuals who could be possibly recognized to be entered in the Sports Hall of Fame. And this year, the committee got together, and there have been 4 selections for induction into Red Oak Sports Hall of Fame. This will be over homecoming week in 2 weeks. Brett, who are those 4 people that will be inducted into the Red Oak Sports Hall of Fame?
I know we talked a little bit at pregame for it. The first one is Jason Abul. He was class of 2005. It says he was a 12-time varsity letter winner. He was the male athlete of the year in 2005 there, and mostly his track, football, especially basketball. He was, he graduated as the school's leading career rebounder and block shots, and actually played at Loras College there. So, then you have Blake Berggren. Get all of her athletic ability from mom, as you always say.
Absolutely nothing from the father as far as athletic ability.
Except maybe the knees. She got her bad knees from there. But, right. She was a 3-sport, standout. And, she was actually the 2014 female athlete of the year. And, was really good at volleyball, and basketball was probably her best sport there.
And Blake was one of those athletes that she had some serious knee injuries, and you just think, man, if she had been healthy, even more what she would accomplish, even what she did with her injury, she was fabulous. So,
unfortunately, she just seemed to be snake bit her entire career when it came to that.
Yeah.
Our next one coming up here was Ben Hansen. He was also 2006 there, and he's the linebacker for the Tigers, 4-sport athlete, 12 varsity letters, and in fact he still holds the records for the single season and career tackles with 151 in a season and also 294 in a season, and he was also a 2-time state wrestling qualifier. And then our last Tiger who qualified there was also Andy Jennings, also from that 2006 class there, and he was one of the running backs, and he was really explosive, good-sized kid, and those are some of the best teams Red Oak has had for a while under Mike Beeson there when he was head coach.
The great thing I think about this Hall of Fame induction, we've seen it over several years. We had Kurt Lance several years ago, and it was so great. I remember Kurt was from the 60s class, but he had his family there, his grandkids would see all that. And for these guys right here, they're going to have their families with their children. They're going to be able to see their parents be honored and recognized. Geez, your parent, you were in high school one time. It's so cool to see not just the people inducted, but their families be there and get this honor and reaction and wrapped up with the homecoming weekend activities on it. So it's just a really cool thing that Red Oak does.
No, it truly is a kind of a family affair there. Kind of allows you to kind of relive some of those past things that you did in high school. And sometimes if you're bringing your kids along, they're like, really? Dad was athletic or something like that? And it's like, yeah, I guess he was pretty good. I guess he's just not telling stories here. But, Mark Erickson here, athletic director, has done a really good job with that, getting those people selected and honoring them and making sure they do kind of get their time under the lights here once again.
Yeah. So still at halftime here as we're with the halftime extravaganza show. It's AHSTW 41, Red Oak 6. We'll have a running clock in that second half here. We're going to keep it right here unless our executive producer tells us to go elsewhere. The youth football teams are being announced, and here comes all the flag football kids, and there are a ton of them. They're running out of there, and they got their orange jerseys on. And we have just a great bunch of coaches. Caleb Raybine, he's just a great guy. Is one of our coaches. Timberly Bentley, Tyler Penry. We've got Marty Coates as a coach this year. Brian Giroux is a coach this year. But it's so good to see so many kids out for football. Look at them all out there, Brett.
No, it's great to have those people out there, because – in so many ways they are the future Tiger football, and these events always take volunteers. So it's kind of great to have those people out there for us.
And they're going to be out practicing tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We're getting wet on that practice field, getting muddy. I had one kid tell me a couple weeks ago. He says, "Coach Matt, when will it rain?" I said, "I'm not sure. Why?" Because I want to play football in the rain and mud. I said, "That's what I like to hear."
Exactly. That is precisely. I tell you what. When you start getting those first practices in the mud and everything like that, that is great. It looks like the junior teams for the JVA here, tackle football's coming out here, and I know they got a game down tomorrow in Maryville starting at 9 o'clock, and hopefully they're rip-roaring to go. We got about 20 kids on that junior team, and on the black side here we have our senior team, which is 5th and 6th graders, and they'll be playing right after us at 10:30 also in Maryville at their high school, so hopefully both teams can come out with a W there.
This is the most, I think you and I are talking, this might be the most kids we have seen out between the two programs, the YMCA and JVA, in recent memory. Almost 90 kids out between grades 1st through 6th grade for football. And that is, of all the things you can say about Red Oak football program, this is the best sign you see right here with all these kids out here playing football for Red Oak this year.
Oh, absolutely. And, some of it goes to a credit to their parents, making sure the kids get signed up, making sure, getting into practices. And I know for our teams and also yours, taking them to other towns. It isn't just playing here in town. It's, going to Clarinda, going to you guys, Shenandoah. We're going to Maryville tomorrow. We'll be going to Creston later on. So these aren't some of these short trips. So, but as always, we're always looking for more people. We always want more kids involved.
Absolutely.
We always need more volunteers there, and it makes things easier on everybody. So definitely, if you want to volunteer for any of these things, contact the YMCA. You can contact me, with JVA.
And you don't have to be an expert on football. I mean, if you at this level, it's just the basic fundamentals that we teach, and we can use your help immensely with coaching, because the more coaches we have, the more practice is better, the more efficient, effective practices are, the more efficient the kids can play in the game. So,
those young kids, it's almost like herding cats sometimes, and so sometimes you need many eyes to make sure those kids aren't wandering off and, pulling the dandelions or whatever the case is. But, and so, like I said, if you want those opportunities, they are available for you. And, it's a great way to be involved in your community.
Yep. So we're here at halftime. 41-6, HSTW over Red Oak. And we're going to take a break, take some messages, and we'll come right back with the kickoff here for the second half. field in Red Oak. It's AHSTW 41, Red Oak 6. We're about ready to get the second half underway here. We'll have a running clock. And Vikings took the opening possession of the game. Brett went right down the field and scored in 3 plays and haven't looked back.
No, it's this. They just kind of came out there and it wasn't anything too fancy there. They had a couple long passes, but most of it's just been running to the right side off tackle, and they've been able to run very successful that way. The Tigers really haven't been able to stop them, except for the one Jackson Purdue interception.
Yeah, Vikings have done it by the air and on the ground. You mentioned the Jackson Purdue interception. The Tigers also recovered a fumble, and the Vikings also had another fumble, but they recovered it. So you would think with 2 turnovers, a team went out 41 points on the board, but nonetheless the Vikings do here in this game tonight. Week 2 of football around this area. I mean, usually this time of year, guys, it's about 100 degrees out, and it is absolutely perfect weather conditions. The Red Oak Field is in great shape here, and
now, Chris Van Osdale does a really good job of keeping the field in shape here, and probably the only complaint tonight by Matt would be he forgot his Snuggie at home.
Yeah, it's a bit cool. Guys, can you turn down the air conditioner, please?
Because he has that thin blood here, and anything below 75, and he needs a jacket here. So.
It's a bit chilly up here in the press box.
Speaking of chili, I thought you'd be wanting a bowl of it right now.
Do they have that down at concession stand? Can we make a call down there?
Well, usually you don't need it in the first part of September.
Well, tonight would be up here, at least in the press box, we'd use it. Cash Freeman will kick off for the Vikings here to get the second half underway, and the kick is away. It's a good kick down to Cale Hall. He'll take it as 20 up to 25, goes to the right side, and he's going to be covered up there at the 25-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for the Tigers here to start the second half.
No, and I think kind of wondering if we'll see if some of these younger guys in for the Vikings here will start getting a little bit more playing time.
Tigers will go with, I believe, Fisher's at quarterback. Is he out there? Yeah, here he comes.
Yeah, here he comes. He was just getting play from Coach.
Looks like he's got a little hitch to his run there. I don't know. He took a couple big hits in the first half there, but Fisher's a tough kid. But 1st and 10 here to 25. We've got the referee waving his hands here. I think we're changing the football out here.
No, yeah, we've kind of forgotten to get the ball switched out with one from the Vikings here. So
just getting going here, second half. Tigers with the ball. Fisher will be in shotgun formation. Purdue tailback behind him. Receiver each side. Now they bring Ransom in motion. Give to Fisher. Fisher with a rollout. Keeps it. Going to tuck it back up inside. Maybe pick up a yard or two.
No, I think that was one of those plays. He was looking to kind of go with kind of the option pitch there out to Caleb there. But, the defensive end there, Jorgensen was able to kind of shut that down. So Fisher just kind of had to take it straight up and try to get a yard out of that.
2nd and 9. Tigers 25. We'll have a running clock here in this half. Tigers trying to get something on. Even though the game's out of hand, I think, Brett, this is an important half of football for the Tigers to show something, to play hard through the end of the game, get some positive here out of the second half. Fisher will be at quarterback here, takes a snap, gives to Purdue. Purdue cuts up inside, gets a little bit of running room, gets outside the tackle there and picks up 3 or 4 yards. It'll be a 3rd, and we'll call it 6 here.
Yeah, I think it's really important for the Red Oak offense here to get some scores on the field, get some scores on the season here. So far, the offense has really been shut out as far as scoring there from the end, getting into the end zone. And so just to kind of boost some of their confidence up going up into West Central Valley next week, they're going to really be looking, hey, what are some of the things that we can really start to hang our hat on?
Yeah, and like I say, the defensive line from the Vikings have just been dominant tonight with Jorgensen out there. He's just been a terror on that left defense inside. Here we go, 3rd and 6 for the Tigers at their 30. Fisher in shotgun. We're going to bring in motion a player now to give. Oh, it's all blown up there, and there's a ball loose on the ground. Is it loose? Looks like it is. Vikings are pointing they've got it, and they do have it. That was Mr. Jorgensen, I believe, in there, as well as number 59, Jackson Jensen. I think he actually recovered the ball, Brett.
Yeah.
So the Vikings with the first Tiger turnover tonight.
No, they're kind of trying to bring Ransom around the edges, kind of a fake sweep there from behind, but Jorgensen had kind of blown the play up, come up from his end position, and by the time that Ransom was able to hand off the ball, it almost handed it off to Jorgensen here. So kind of the first turnover of the night by the Tigers, and kind of at an unfortunate time and place.
So Vikings take over at the Red Oak 23-yard line. Osbar at quarterback for the Vikings. Shotgun formation. The give to Lee. Lee on the left side cuts it back inside. Good run back outside. He's still on his feet. Dragged down and pick up about 6-7 yards on that play.
Yeah, Fouts was able at that end position, able to bring him back in. But I tell you what, these backs for the Vikings, they've been running hard and they're shifty. They're very shifty. They're very quick. And it's given the Tigers fit so far, trying to tackle them, trying to bring them to the ground.
2nd and 4 here for the Vikings. Ball at the Tigers' 16-yard line. Just underway here in the third quarter. It's been all Vikings. They're up 41-6 on the Tigers, looking to get more here as they have recovered a Red Oak fumble on the opening possession of the half for the Tigers, and now they're knocking on the door here again. Osborne under center this time. Takes a snap. Can roll out to right side, looking. He's got Freeman. Oh, incomplete. Just threw it a little bit high. Freeman couldn't bring it down, so it'll be a 3rd and 4 here.
No, Vikings were kind of trying to clear out the zone there underneath. They kind of sent 2 receivers deep to try to drag the safety in the corner there. And, the Tigers, he just had a linebacker there, but it would have been a pretty decent gain. It's just kind of a little bit overthrown there.
Vikings putting 6 points on the board last week against a rugged Logan Magnolia team has really hit their stride here offensively tonight against the Tigers. Be 3rd and 4 here for the Vikings at the Tiger, we'll call it 16-yard line. Bring a guy in motion. Osborne gives to Lee. Lee up the middle. He's going to go in, take it in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings.
He was able. That was just a little bit of misdirection. Just kind of went up the guard there between the guard and the center, and they've been doing that all night. Kind of the rushing numbers here. So for the Vikings, I'm sure they're up over 400 yards at this point.
Lee with multiple touchdowns as well on the night. And the Vikings go up 47-6. And they're going to see what they've had some ventures on their extra points here. They went for 2 on a fake. They've had a couple bobbled snaps here. Let's see what they do here. Harder is a holder to snap, kick up, and I think that one's going to go through the post, and it is. So with 7:49 to go in the third quarter, it's 48-6 Vikings over the Tigers. AHSTW, they're over the Tigers 48-6 here, 7:49 to go in the third quarter. Brett, you got an update from Shenandoah.
Yeah, it looks like Clarinda just kind of scored to tie it up there, so now we're tied at 13 here in the fourth quarter.
That's a game of Clarinda and Shenandoah, game down in Shenandoah. Here it's 48-6, Vikings over the Tigers. Vikings will be kicking off to the Tigers here. Freeman is going to be tired. He's been done a lot of kicking tonight. He's been kicking off, kicking field goals, and there's kind of a short kick up. Going to be fielded by Samaritis. That's bobbled, but he's going to jump on it. No advance, but he does jump on the ball. So the Tigers will take 1st and 10 from their 27. You know, guys, we talked about the Hall of Famers going in, but the other big news we talked about, we do want to mention again, congratulations to Coach Angie Montgomery on becoming the all-time winningest volleyball coach in Red Oak school history with 426 head coaching wins as her team got her the victories last week and pushed her over Angie Spangenberg as a career leader.
You know, I don't know much about volleyball, but that sounds like a lot of wins.
That's a lot of wins. There's any way you slice and dice, that's a lot of wins. 1st and 10 here for the Tigers at the 26-yard line. Tigers 3 to the left, 2 receivers to the right. No one in the backfield. Fisher's a shotgun formation. Fisher takes it, drops back. Good push there by the Vikings. Fisher scrambles, and he's going to get rid of the ball. Again, pressure coming from the Vikings there, and Fisher did a good job just to get rid of the ball and not take a sack there.
I think we keep mentioning the lines there, especially for the Vikings here. The Vikings, they're able to get this big pressure on Fisher.
They're not blitzing.
They're only rushing 4 guys, and really it makes it tough for Fisher there trying to find guys who are open.
Yeah,
when they're able to drop 7 guys, when you're only sending 3 or 4 guys out in the progression there, and you got maybe 2 or 3 seconds to get the ball out, it's really tough.
Brett, that's why you're the top analyst in Southwest Iowa, buddy. You nailed that one right there, brother. Fisher back at shotgun formation. Trips her wide side. Fisher drops back. There comes the pressure. Steps up under pressure, and he's going to be dropped there by the Vikings.
Yeah, we had their number 32 there. He was able to kind of come around the end there here, Cash Freeman, senior who's been doing some of the kicking duties, and he was able to kind of atone for a few of those missed extra points there by making a good play coming from his right side there and getting to Fisher.
3rd and 15. That was a sack back to the 20-yard line. And
looks like the referees might be
talking to one of the road players.
Talking to Mason Fisher there.
They're going to restart the play clock. I think they're checking on him. He took a hit there and just checking to make sure he's all right. Fisher's taken some tough shots already this year, last week in the Corning game and here as well. But, need to give him a little time to let him do something back there. But 3rd down here and long for the Tigers. The clock is running. 48-6, Vikings over Tigers. We're in the 3rd quarter. Tigers showing a lot of trip formations tonight. Tigers 3 to the right side. Dropping back Fisher. Steps up. Under pressure again. And, boy, they're just laying their ears back, and they're coming after him now, aren't they, Brett?
Yeah, and their ends are playing very disciplined here and kind of squeezing him inside that pocket, not letting Fisher kind of roll out one way or the other.
Does Red Oak need to look at some quick slants or something, a little screen pass, something to slow that down? But it's going to be
I know it's been kind of tough sledding on that so far with those especially Jorgensen being so tall. It's kind of hard to get over him especially when they're coming at you that fast.
Little draw play or something. 4th down here to Cale Hunt back to punt for the Tigers. He'll be standing about his 5-yard line. Snaps away. They're going to have a flag.
I think we got a false start here.
It's on.
Looks like Red Oak here. Looks like the Vikings were doing a lot of jumping there, trying to get one of the Tigers to jump, and it looks like they were able to get somebody. So taking it back to almost the 10-yard line for the Tigers to punt from.
Crowd still sticking around here on week 2. Home opener for the Tigers here tonight. Cale Hall would be back on about his 1-yard line to take this snap. He does, and the kick is away. Good high kick. A short kick, but a good kick. It's going to take a Viking bounce. It's going to bounce back and be down at the 32. So Vikings, again, have a short field, and we'll see if they still bring out their number 1 offense here, up 48-6 with a running clock here.
It's just kind of tough for the Tigers so far. This half they really been playing field possession ball, and they've been on the wrong side of that. So even given the Vikings the ball back, it's always been on that short field.
Dayton Osbar is coming back out. Looks like the first team offense still out there for Coach Petit. And 48-6 here inside 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers with their starting defense out there. Osborne in the shotgun formation. Single tailback behind him. Pitch to Gatler. And Tigers with a good job pursuing that over there to snuff that out. Not much yards there, if any at all.
Yeah, it looks like Jackson Purdue and Ethan Fouts were over there. But that was good pursuit on their part. But, I tell you what, I'd be interested to see how many carries Gettler has tonight. My guess is he's over 30 easily at this point.
I think Ace Wilkins was in on that tackle. Well, I'm having a hard time seeing that number. Maybe not. No? You're pointing at something.
Yeah, looks like Sawyer Purdue right now is just kind of walking the sideline here without pads.
Yeah, it's not a good sign. Sawyer Purdue not in uniform here in the second half. I don't know if there's there. We'll have to check after the game with Coach Gray on that. 2nd and 10 here at the 34-yard line. Vikings bring a player in motion, give to Gettler, up the middle, still on his feet. Finally brought down, but not until after he gets the first down, all the way down to the Tiger, I'd say 16-yard line here. Just a simple trap play up the middle, Brett. And
just a little misdirection, sending it outside to get the linebackers kind of peeking there and just send Gettler right up the middle again. And like I said, it's just been a lot of misdirection all night. And said Gettler at this point probably has at least 35, 40 carries.
Yeah, they've been in good runs. He's been, as well as Lee, offensively on the ground and in the air, Vikings having their way. They're going to go trips to the right side, one receiver short side, bring a guy in motion now. Osborne takes a snap, gives to that player, and he's going to get down to about the 12. Good tackle in there by the Tigers. Evan Harder with the run there for the Vikings on that one. It'll be second, and we'll call it about, I don't know, probably about 5 here for the Vikings. They're at the Tiger, we'll call it 14-yard line here. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Clock is running here.
No, and they haven't been these big explosive plays. A lot of these plays have just been 5 yards here,
nothing
8 yards
fancy.
here.
The most exotic play was the first play of the game, and they did a halfback pass for a long pass play, but pretty much everything else has been straightforward run action or pass action. Osborne in the shotgun formation gives to Gettler. Gettler with a big hole gets down all the way to about the 3 or 4, picks up the first down all the way down to about the 3-yard line. Vikings knocking on the door again here.
Because, I kind of feel bad here, kind of sound like a broken record here, but it's really big. They've been running the same 4 plays here, probably about 80% of the ball game here. So
and this is the point of the game, too. The scoreboard's working against you, and you've got to really just mentally engage in the game the best you can. And the Vikings here look like they're going to come with a shotgun formation, single back set. Give to Osborne, gives to Gettler. Gettler's going to follow his blockers, and he's going to walk in there in the end zone. That's another touchdown. Vikings on the board. Now go to 50-point mark. It's now 54 points on the board for the Vikings. So Vikings just chewing it up offensively on the Tigers.
I will say one thing with this Vikings offense is they really do force you to play a lot of assignment football there on defense because, each guy, the linebackers, the safeties, the corners, really got to read their keys. Everybody's got to stay home and make sure they're, doing their assignment and trying to do more than they need to.
Freeman, yet again, back for another extra point attempt. And we'll have that try here. Harder will hold for the Vikings. A high snap. Good hold by Harder to get that down. It's blocked by the Tigers again. If there's one area Coach Petit will not be happy with on Monday, it will be their extra points attempts. So, nonetheless, no good there on that. It's 54-6, under a minute to go. In the third quarter, we'll be right back after this. Back here in Bend the Field or Red Oak Night, Week 2 high school football all across the state of Iowa tonight. There is no better time of the season than football season, guys. And even if the scoreboard's not working away, it's still a good night to be in high school football.
It's still football season, and that's really all that matters here.
And, Brett, you and I, of course, know tomorrow we're just hours away from another potential cyclone state for another year.
From a complete shellacking.
From
you're
another
hours
cyclone
away from
state.
a shellacking. That's what you're hours away from.
Just little old Iowa State. You got big old Nebraska over here, Brett. You got big old Iowa over here. Just little old Iowa State. Little old Iowa State right in there, right in the middle. Just kind of just that pest that just won't go away.
University of Iowa, home of the punter. Offensive MVP last year wasn't a punter, wasn't he?
Well, here's a kick away from Freeman. It's going to be fielded by Cale Hall. He's going to advance out to 20. Cale's got some speed, 25. Brings it back to the other side, but he'll be brought down at the 25 there. Good coverage by the Vikings. So we'll see if the Vikes bring out their top D, or looks like Coach Petit is going to bring in some of his second stringer defensive guys here, as we're now 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. So looks like a few of the second teamers are out there for the Vikings. Good opportunity for these players and the Vikings to get game experience here. So Tigers will probably try to get a playoff here before the end of the quarter.
Well, they don't have to. So we'll see what they do if they just decided they want to wait this one out.
Fisher at quarterback's gone the entire game here at quarterback for the Tigers. Shotgun snap. The Tigers are going to get away. Give it to Ransom. Ransom up the middle. Picks up a couple yards there, but brought down. But that'll end. I think that ends our third quarter. It does end our third quarter here. So 54-6. AHSTW over the Tigers. We'll be right back after these messages. Back here in Bend the Field, it's HSTW 54, Red Oak 6. Big offensive night by the Vikings. Dayton Osbar has passed the ball. Mr. Julie has run the ball. Gatlin Getler has ran the ball. And it has been a big offensive explosion here for the Vikings tonight as they have just been in total control of this game from the very get-go. 1 quarter to go here for the Tigers and the Vikings. The Tigers will have the ball. They're 2nd and 9. Their 28-yard line here.
Hopefully they're looking right now just to see if they can get some positive offensive momentum for next week.
Vikings here with looks like their second team unit defense in here now.
Looks like we got a little confusion there out on the field.
Tigers missing a player here, running a player out there. And the clock is not started, so they still have the advantage that the play clock has not started because it's at the quarter possession here. So Tigers are getting set here. Yeah, there's some confusion. I think Tigers are bringing some different guys too here. So Tigers will have Fisher still at quarterback, though. Bring Ransom in motion. The pitch to Ransom. Ransom's got some room out here. Cuts it back inside. Going to cut up to 40. Gets the first down across the 42-yard line. There's a good run by the Tigers.
Yeah, that's kind of what he needed there, just to see a little bit of success there. The Tigers just kind of brought it around that right end, and, we're getting some linemen switch. Looks like Hayden Jones needed a quick breather, and he's back in now for the Tigers.
Ransom, a 5'10", 109-pound senior. And he can do some things out there offensively and defensively for the Tigers. 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their 41 here. 2 receivers each side, single back with Purdue, Fisher in shotgun formation. Now it looks like they're going to have a timeout. Coach Gray's going to call a timeout here. We'll keep it right here.
It's like we just had a little confusion out there.
11-18 to go in the game.
I got some updates if we want to catch it. Looks like Glenwood and Harlan are now tied at 10 in the 4th quarter. Van Meter's beating Trainer right now at 21-13. And in our other state-ranked one going on there, Tri-Center's leading OABCIG 14-12 here in the 4th quarter. St. Albert's over IKM Manning 28-19. Bedford's really putting it on Lennox 50-14. Sorry, stuff just kind of refreshed on us here.
Stanton score?
I haven't got down to it. Riverside is now leading Mount Air 36-6. Fremont Mills here is now down to Boyer Valley 18-14. So East Mills, we haven't had a new change since the halftime. It's still East Mills up 26 there. So we're sure they're in the 3rd, if not the 4th quarter at this point.
1st and 10 for Red Oak here at their 41-yard line. After the timeout, they bring Torres in motion. Fisher with the option now. Pitch out to Purdue. Purdue cuts it back inside. Picks up some positive yardage there. He's going to pick up about 4 yards before he's brought down. Nice little option game there by the Tigers. Pick up about almost 5 yards. We'll call it maybe 2nd and 6 here, but at the 45-yard line.
No, good run by Purdue. Probably one of his better runs of the entire night that he was able to kind of get a little space in there.
Even against the second-team defense, Brett, to have some offensive success here at the end would be, I think, really helpful for the Tiger team.
No, absolutely. You just need to, at this point it's just building momentum to next week and, just trying to get some of that success and hopefully go down, put it in the end zone so you can kind of, get that one done for the season. That way you're ready to kind of roll.
Ransom in motion.
Weeks.
Fisher on the rollout, looking, gets a pass away. It's going to be incomplete. Looks like they were miscommunication. Or Torres came back on a comeback pattern, but it looked like Fisher was looking for him to go deep, but nonetheless incomplete. The other thing is offense need to get some points on the board. Touchdown.
Oh, absolutely.
Tigers put 3 points on the board last week, and their only points tonight have been on interception return. So just from the offense perspective, to get something on the board offensively here with 10 minutes to go in the game would be really significant for the Tigers. But they're going to have to convert here, 3rd and 6 at the 45-yard line. Tigers in the huddle. They're going to bring Hall out wide. Fouts will be in tight. Purdue at tailback. Fisher in shotgun formation. Fisher's almost been exclusively at shotgun formation all night. High snap, but he corrals it. Coming hard in a rush of Vikings. The pass is away, and it's going to be caught by Fouts at the 30-yard line. Great job there by Fisher to avoid the rush and get the ball out to Ethan Fouts. A long pass play, probably the longest pass play of the night for the Tigers, 25 yards, Ethan Fouts.
No, that was a great throw by Fisher because how the rush was coming, he really wasn't able to get his feet set, and that was like almost all arm, and he was still able to get enough on it to get it out there to Fouts.
Yeah, nice pass and catch there for the Tigers. Tigers down at the Viking 31-yard line. So Tigers are in business here offensively. This might be the deepest penetration the Tigers have had all night as far as offense going. They're going to bring Ransom in motion here. Fake pitch. And Fisher going to be sacked for a long line. I'm not sure what happened on that play there. It seemed like there was some confusion. A massive loss there for the Tigers all the way back to the 49. So all that possession, they lose about 20 yards right there on that play, Brett.
Yeah, we're not sure if that kind of looked like there was a miscommunication on where the back was going to be compared to where Mr. Fisher was looking to hand off. So just kind of one of those things. Unfortunately for the Tigers, they get some momentum here. Go back here, about almost 15 yards on that play. So bringing up a long second down here.
2nd and 22 some-odd yards. Tigers are going to have to get all the way down to the 21-yard line for a first down, but they're 2nd and long here. Fisher at quarterback, takes a snap, gives to Purdue. Purdue's got some running room, 40, 35, crashes down about the 32, picks up some good yardage there, almost back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to set up a 3rd and 13. Of course, the Tigers know this is 4 down anyway, so they're looking if they can kind of get another play here, pick some yard, and maybe pick it up on 4th down here. But 3rd and 12 at the 34-yard line.
Now, in some ways, just knowing you're going on 4th down, you kind of know that kind of opens up the playbook a little bit here, because if you know you're going to punt or try to kick a field goal, kind of limits it to a pass. You still have the ability to hopefully break a run here before you have to go for a 4th down.
3rd and 13 for the Tigers here. Fisher under shotgun formation, high snap again. He gets it under pressure, rolls out, going to go deep, looking for the receiver, and I think we're going to have a flag there, you bet. Yeah, that's face guarding and coverage, holding, whatever you want to call it on the Vikings. That'll be a automatic first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think that's kind of almost one of those back shoulder throws where the quarterback almost kind of throws it back, throws it a little bit short, knowing the receiver's going to come back there. And Torres was able to come back, but the Vikings were just kind of impeding him there, so it's going to bring up a 15-yard penalty there, and kind of that should be enough for the Tiger first down because it isn't automatic. It is not automatic. It's just 15 yards, but just knowing that it was 3rd and about 13, it should be good for a first down.
Again, I do not do math, and you are a history teacher, so we may
have to
go to the executive producer to do the math for us, but I do believe it's a first down.
Yeah, I think the only thing he's worrying about number-wise is trying to get a raise from Miss Melanie West.
That's right. You got it. There you go. Absolutely. The chains are moving, so it's a first down. How about that?
First down.
1st and 10, Tigers inside the 20 for the first time all night. At 19, Fisher dropping back the pass. Screen pass to Purdue. Purdue cuts inside. He's got some daylight. Still on his feet down. He picks up the first down inside the 10. Nice job by Fisher. He lobbed that ball over the defender to get it to Purdue.
No, that was good patience on the screenplay because it does take time to develop there, and made a really good throw because, Purdue actually was being guarded there. There was a defender there, but able to make a good throw. Great catch by Purdue and rumbled down to make it 1st and goal here for the Tigers about on the 8-yard line.
8-yard line here. Tigers are 1st and goal here. Be great for the Tigers to get some offensive points on the board tonight. Fisher is going to be at shotgun formation, 2 receivers each side for the Tigers. Snap to Fisher under pressure. Give to Purdue on a draw. I like the play call. Nice job there by the Vikings, though, but that's a great call there, that draw, because he knew the Vikings were going to be coming on that pass rush, Brett.
No, you almost make that defensive end. You let him come free just to try to bring him up and go right underneath him. But kind of the problem there, we need to kind of chip him a little bit because that defensive end is coming up on Fisher just a little too quick for him to make the play.
2nd and goal here at the 7-yard line for the Tigers. Tigers going to show 2 to the right, 2 to the short side, single back with Purdue. Let's see if they roll Mason out to this side, give him some room to work. High snap. He is going to roll this side. He's going to be the pass away. Oh, almost corralled, but dropped by the Ethan. He tried to make a one-handed grab there. Been a great catch if he could have gotten it, but it goes fall incomplete. He had his guy beat, but
now Fisher was able to get out. He almost was there to he almost got sacked there. And, the defenders coming from the left side there on the Tigers line, the Viking end keeps kind of running free there. So it was a good job by Fisher just to get out, but it would have been nice to see Fouts corral that in to get the touchdown.
3rd and goal here for the Tigers at the 7. Let's see. I like that play, rolling Fisher out to the right side here on the wide side. Let's see where they go on this play. Bring Ransom in motion. Pitch to Ransom. Ransom's going to try to get it outside. Cuts it back inside. 5, 4 down and about the 1-yard line. He's going to be just short of the touchdown. They're going to mark him out to 1.5. So it's going to be 4th and goal for the Tigers here, Brett.
Oh, we'll kind of see what's going to happen. Are they going to try to roll out on the pass, or are we going to try to sweep out there? So, a whole lot of things are open here for the Tigers.
Ball's actually at the 2 here, so it's 4th and goal at the 2-yard line for the Tigers. Tigers bring in tight ends each side. Single back Purdue. Fisher on the snap. He's going to take the forward snap, and it's a touchdown. Red Oak.
No, nice job by Fisher there coming up there because he hasn't run a whole lot, any planned runs really so far this game. So for him to kind of get under center there, I think he really kind of surprised the defense there for the Vikings. But nice there to kind of get on the board here.
Yeah, absolutely. The offense gets their first points of the night there. First touchdown on the season offensively for the Tigers. So good job there by the Tigers. Even though the game's been decided, that's, like you said, building something for next week. Pay Shelley out here for the extra point attempt. Jackson Purdue will be the holder. And the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and I believe it is good. So,
because I think Shelley now is like 2 for 2 here on kicks this year.
You bet. He's got a strong leg. 4:45 to go in the game. AHSTW 54, Red Oak 13.
Keep changing my title here tonight. So anyway, we're back. You're listening to KCSI, Red Oak, Villisca, Shenandoah, Avoca. Thanks for listening. 95.3. Matt Davis and Brett Eubank with us.
Good to hear that Red Oak fight song. The band is there. Good to hear the crowd is stuck around. And we're going to wind this game down here pretty soon. We'll 4:45 to go in this game here. Stick around. After the game, we'll have Coach Gray and a player with an interview. We'll get you the final scores of other games around the area. There's a good one down in Shenandoah. It's all tied up in overtime, 13 Shenandoah and Corinda.
And kind of in our other state-ranked one going on here now, OABCIG has now taken the lead over Tri-Center, 18-14.
That's up there in the Northland, up there in the frozen tundra of Ida Grove.
Matt would have his parka out by this point.
The frozen tundra of Ida Grove.
He's frozen to death up there a few times there, folks.
Tigers with a kickoff here. Paige Shelley with the boot. Another onside squibber. It's loose. Picked up by the Tigers. So Tigers go onside kick, and they recover it.
I think they get the fortuitous bounce off the face mask of the Viking player, and they're able to recover
Number
here.
47. I don't have a 47 on. You have a 47 on your roster?
That might be one of the kids who have just gone out recently.
I think it's one of my YMCA kids out there. I think they put a jersey on him out there. I want to give credit to him. I've recovered that onside kick. But nonetheless, Tigers with the onside kick recovery, they're going to have possession at the Viking 44 and a chance to close this game out with maybe another touchdown here. We'll see. Tigers are going to lead their first team offense out there against this Viking second team defense. Fisher takes a snap. Under pressure. Steps up. The ball is going to be almost intercepted, but falls incomplete. Fisher was hit as he was throwing, and it was kind of a wounded duck in the air, but the Viking player had it but dropped it last minute, so incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Fisher's kind of hobbling here.
I think he's just coming over to Coach Gray to kind of get the play there, but just when you're in that throwing motion and
arm
when you
is
kind of
exposed,
get there,
yeah.
That arm's up there, those ribs are exposed, so hopefully he wasn't able to take too bad of a shot there in his arm. Because at this point in the game, you're not really worried about this week, you're worried about next week.
Yep. Tigers running clock under 3:30 to go here in the game. Fisher takes a snap. Again, more pressure, passes away, and it's going to be incomplete. That's either incomplete. I thought the ball hit the turf, but no, the official's going to rule it as an interception, I believe. I thought the ball hit the turf and caught, but nonetheless, that's going to be an interception for the Vikings there.
No, I think what actually happened is it hit Hall and it kind of bounced off of his feet, and as he was falling down, his feet actually kicked it up in the air for the interception to occur.
So that's Mason's first pick of the year, and I say that because, he threw, 34 passes in Corning last week, and I don't know, he's got at least that here tonight, and you think, he's been under pressure, and even that pass there was kind of a fortuitous bounce.
Well, yeah, just kind of a fluky.
Use your term.
Yeah, it was a fluky interception, so that's really nothing you can kind of put on him there.
So 2:32 to go. The Vikings have the ball here, and they're looking at Coach Petit saying, "What are we running, Coach? I think they're going to have to burn a timeout here or something."
I think just kind of looking at personnel here.
Confusion reigns here. They'll have to either get a flag or going to call timeout.
Yeah, they'll just call timeout here.
But, again, just to kind of keep it here, the Tigers getting an offensive touchdown there a few moments ago was big for them. And, we'll talk to Coach Gray after the game here. But, so much of this season for the Red Oak football program, is about growth and development and, a change of culture. What we have seen tonight from these kids is, from the Red Oak kids, at least from the Red Oak perspective, we've seen a team that has been committed, playing hard, and we just see a lot more, I would call, engaged play by the players. So many times in the last few years we've had, circumstances on the field where players, are not focused on the game and some other antics, but the Tigers have just been really locked in here. Yes, they've been beat, but they're playing in a very, I would say, good way in terms of trying to grow and develop here as football players.
No, and I think a lot of it is just trying to build a very positive culture among the kids. And just even within, last week, what did we say, 5 or 6 kids just joined playing up for football. And, even if they're not able to help as much this year, you're still looking for the future. Maybe they can help in future years and, even spell some of the guys here later in the year.
So new quarterback in here for the Vikings, that is Camden Dreesen. He's going to hand off to running back, and he'll get nothing there. So Vikings have their backups in there offensively here as this clock winds down now to 2 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, it looks like Jackson Purdue was able to come in from his rover spot and make that tackle for loss there. So it's going to bring up, about 2nd and 13 here for the Vikings.
But, yeah, stick around after the game. We'll have interviews with Coach Gray and a player.
And just real quick here, down in Shenandoah, Shenandoah's up now 19-13. It's still in overtime. We don't know if Clarinda's going to be getting the ball back here yet.
Vikings with the ball here under 2 minutes to go in the game. That is Lamp now quarterback. Incomplete as he was trying to get it to Evan Harder. So the clock will keep ticking here. It'll be 3rd and 13 here for the Vikings as we wind down week 2 of high school football. We'll have all the scores, recap the game after the game here.
It looks like in the Riverside Mount Air game, it looks like Mount Air's tried to mount a comeback here. They're only down by 10 now, 36-26 in the fourth quarter.
The Raiders of Mount Air. 1 minute to go, 54-13. Vikings here with the ball. I'll probably have to play one more play after this. We'll see here. But it's back, passes away, incomplete. Nice arm there by Dreesen. Really gunned that one, but incomplete here. We'll probably have to have one more play here.
Pace Shelley,
And then
well, we got the running clock. So, yeah, it looks like one more play. Pace Shelley was there to kind of break up from a safety position. Another update on the score. Looks like they finally got stuff updated. East Mills is now beating Stanton Essex 32-6, and that's listed in the third quarter. So
this will be our last play of the game here in Bend the Field tonight. It's been all AHSTW Vikings as they're up 54-13, and they're going to either take a penalty or something here because the play clock's not synced with the game clock. Maybe they'll just let it just keep on going. That's what I would do, but now they're going to.
Looks like he's going to call the timeout so they don't do the penalty, and then they're going to pretty much just start it up again and right after the timeout, and they should be ready to go
just
here.
Let this clock go, and that'll be it. But yeah, week 2, and I think from Coach Ray, we'll see what he has to say. But I think let's take some positive away from this game. We got Hawkeyes going out the door here, but learning lesson. Last week they played a tough, competitive slugfest with that South Valley. Tonight they played a team that really came at them, and you learn from this and you grow. You get in that practice on Monday and work on it and improve, and that's what you do with a football team, and you take it week by week, and the challenge moves on to West Central Valley, and it's in West Central Valley next week.
Yep, we're going up there again.
So you guys will be in Stewart. Is that Stewart, Iowa?
That is Stewart, Iowa.
Is that still in Central Time Zone, or is that East Coast Time Zone?
Well, it is north of I-80 for you, Matt, so it does get kind of cold up there then.
There you go. Here we go, guys. I guess we're gonna run the clock here. I don't know what to call it. Timeout. I guess they got to run a play here. So we're gonna have one more play, and then that will be it for the Vikings of AHSTW. Under center, there is a toss to running back, and boy, a big tackle there at the end of the game. That was Pace Shelley, but nothing there, and that's the ball game. Week 1, week 2 is in the books here. It's AHSTW Vikings over Red Oak, 54-13. We'll be right back after these messages. Red Oak 13 with head coach Alan Gray of the Tigers. Coach, the Vikings came out. They were hot right at the bit, went down the field and scored, and really they seemed like they rushing and saw some things I guess didn't expect out of them from what we saw in the game one.
Yeah, they surprised us with a few things, but it boils down to I did not have this team prepared. My fault, not my coach's fault, not the player's fault. It all lies with me. We'll correct it.
Well, what I will say is I thought what we saw about your team, again, it wasn't a sloppily played game. I think we had one turnover, and even I'm sure that was an interception, and not a lot of penalties. I mean, it was just a matter of execution, but it was not what I would say a sloppy as composed that first quarter last week where both teams were feeling out. I saw some positive things from your team, got some offensive points on the board there in the second half.
Yeah, the biggest thing for us is, like I said last week, we got to be consistent with our drives. We're not built to be 3 and out. As whoever watched the game and whoever attended the game, we got to work on our tackling. Our tackling was terrible.
Yeah, and credit to the Vikings what they did, but you're right. There's things you know what you're going to work on, and that's the thing of a football season. It is a progression through
absolutely.
the year. It's you want to build and progress, and each week you learn something new about your team. And you got some players back tonight. You saw some things that you need to work on, and you get that correct. You got one guy saying next year, Mr. Jacob Patterson. Jacob, tell me a little bit about your performance. What you thought tonight?
I think as a team we didn't do too terrible. But we do definitely have a lot of things to work on. We got to be going harder in practice, make sure that we get our tackling and wrapping up. It's been taught through us all the way through Little League, and I think sometimes it just kind of goes out the window. We need to make sure that we're sticking to the basics and, like Coach said, not getting as many 3 and outs and keeping our hands on the ball.
Yeah, and I thought, they had a couple key players. The Jorgensen kid, left defensive end, played a monster game. But he was going against Sawyer Purdue, our freshman player out there. I thought Sawyer really battled him there in that first half. That's just game experience. There's nothing you can do that when you have that kind of a difference in regards to that.
Oh, absolutely. And, the efforts there, it's a whole new system for our kids, and we got a lot of things to work on, and once we put it together, like I told the boys at halftime, how AHST came out and kind of dominated the line of scrimmage. That's where we need to be, and that's where we'll get. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I think just a lot of it there is just kind of learning that effort, because sometimes it's easy to take a play off here, play off there, especially on that line. You can't just have one guy take a play off there. And one thing that we noticed probably especially on the defensive side there, they get a lot of multiple formations. They send you a lot of different places, and so it's, really up to the defense to kind of reading those keys there. What are some of the things that maybe they need to kind of improve? Just some of it probably with game experience also, because you got a lot of young guys playing new positions.
Yeah, and that's something that we'll definitely work on, because I think next week we'll see multiple formations again, and knowing when we're in zone that we need to bump the coverage. And we had some guys that played zone, some of the younger kids that followed it, which exposed one side or the other, and but we'll correct that. We'll be good.
Jacob out there tonight, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Osborne's a pretty big kid out there from that quarterback perspective. I know you had some rush on him, got some penetration on him sometime, but what kind of things did you see from that side?
I saw a lot of pulling guards and stuff. I got to get better at working to follow the guard's hip and making sure that I can get back there. Pressure-wise, I don't think we did too horrible. We need to make sure we're, just as always, containing the ends and getting after the quarterback and the running back, making sure that we're finishing our tackles.
Because we did notice there on the defense, when the ends were able to contain, let all your help come there from the middle, we were able to kind of stop those. But, it seems like when the end got doubled and the linebackers kind of were in the wrong position, kind of got sucked inside and kind of led to big plays by them. And so, we are looking forward to a lot seeing you, Mr. Patterson, there on some of your, been playing well. Heck, what was it last week? 15 and a half tackles there, and kind of going beast mode a little bit about that. So, we are definitely going to be looking a lot from you from that middle of the line there, kind of leading that defensive line there. And so, have you seen some improvement, like your running mate right next to you, Hayden Jones, there on the defensive line, kind of just being a sophomore here, kind of getting his run there?
Yeah, sometimes I forget he's a sophomore because he's had, from his freshman year to his sophomore year, it's such a jump. I know he's been in the weight room. He's been out on the field practicing all the time. I think we've got a pretty good interior defensive line. We just got to keep working on getting the pressure and making sure that we're gap sound, and we just got to be able to trust our linebackers that they're going to do their job as well.
It's probably one of those things for you, kind of being the senior. It's kind of teaching him some of those little tricks in there. It's just not about brute strength in there. It's about leverage and reading your keys and getting to your right spots there. And something that you've been doing here for 4 years now. So. I suppose are you kind of see you as that leader of that defensive line there, and we think you've been doing a great job so far.
Thank you there. So, Hayden Jones does do a really great job listening. I think the biggest thing on our defense is we need to make sure that we stay out of our heads. We got to just sometimes not think and just play the game, play for fun.
Hey, I think somebody told you guys that.
Hey, it might have been you.
Reaction there. Guys, we're going to be more proud of you. I know you got to get back in the locker room, but, we're excited to see you next week. We'll be in Stewart, Iowa, play on West Central Valley, but hang in there. We saw some good things. It's coming. It's going.
It's coming. Make sure people still come to the games and tune in. And
Coach, you didn't see it, but at halftime, there were more kids out here in our youth football program lined up than we have seen in years. We think almost 90 kids between the flag football.
That's amazing.
They're there. They're all right out there. They were at halftimes, and they're future Tigers. So,
and if you noticed, I had 15 kids out of uniform.
Yeah.
So that's what we've gained in the last week and a half. Yeah. Kids wanting to be part of something. So
you got leaders like Mr. Patterson. You're in good shape, guys. Thank you so much. Go get them next week.
I appreciate
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Coach Alan Gray and Jacob Patterson here at Bend the Field after tonight's game. And Brett and Aaron, what we've seen out of the Tigers is, hard effort, good effort, working hard. And like Coach was saying, there's things they got to work on, things they've got to clean up. But, when you're looking at building a football program, it's a progression, losing an entire football season to improve your football team. This isn't a case where you're going to peak at week 2 or 3, but you want to continually improve as a football program.
No, I think that's really you want to be definitely a different football program from week 1 to week 8 to week 9, and it will come. A lot of those young guys, they're getting a lot of experience, on the defense. So much of it, you don't think about how much, you have to think so much. At those lower levels, it's just all about reacting and going.
Yeah.
If you start doing that at the high school level, guys are getting behind you and, or you're running yourself out of position. So, these young guys it's going to come around. It's going to start clicking in there. Then they can actually start playing a lot faster, because you don't have to think in your head, okay, this guy went left here a little bit. Okay, am I rolling over to the left, rolling to the right? Oh, yeah, that's zone coverage, not man coverage there on the back, because it doesn't really work out well when half of them play zone and half of them play man.
That game experience, you bet. So, guys, we need to wrap it up here. Do we have any quick scores, updates, anything we need from the scoreboard?
Well, I guess it is a final now. Shenandoah has defeated Clarinda 20-13 there. And, Mr. Davis, you called it here when we were talking here beginning of the
it was a one-point game last year what Shenandoah escaped to win, and you just thought, keep knocking on the door there. And so that breaks a 8-game losing streak in that series for the Mustangs. It
looks like now Fremont Mills has taken the lead back over Boyer Valley. Now it's 20-18. We're sure it's in the late fourth quarter there. We haven't had any other updates here from the East Mill Stanton Essex Vikings game. It's still 32-6 there. So, that wrapping up week number 2 there. We'll hopefully be getting some
we'll have scores tomorrow morning for you, and then right in hot coverage. What time hot coverage comes on at 9 a.m. I believe
9 o'clock pregame, 11 o'clock kickoff, and then watch out Cyclones.
Kick off at 11. You're in Ames. Be careful.
I tell you what, next week it's either going to be Mr. West is either going to be smiling.
There's a lot of smack
ear,
talk going on around here,
or he's going to be showing up in a ski mask and just kind of ignoring the two of us here, Matt. But
I ignore you most of the time anyway now.
So true.
There you go.
So how are the Hogs doing?
Well,
yeah, because they have the accidental accidental onside kicks that they recover. But are they playing anybody decent this week, or
I'm trying to recall. I don't know what.
Or is it another Little Sisters of the Poor game?
Yeah, easy now. This is from an Iowa State fan.
Yeah.
Easy.
Well, at least we're not playing East, South, Central Arkansas.
They're probably playing DeVry Technical School or something. I don't know. Guys, it's been enough for us. We need to go. But good night tonight, week 2. It wasn't the score we wanted as Tiger fans, but proud of our team and the effort they gave tonight. We'll go at it again next week. So that's going to be the final here from Bend the Field tonight, where it was the AHSTW Vikings over the Red Oak Tigers, 54-13. I'm Matt Davis. This is Brett Eubanks. Aaron West, thanks for listening.